Stadium. It's Friday Night Football on LSC, your local sports channel.
Well, hello, everyone. Again, Mike Hauser, Paul Rowe, Brent Musgrove, Bob Henson, Mr. Frank Edgar here at Darling Stadium tonight. The Bethel Bruins will come in here to Darling Stadium, and they will take on the host team, Kecoughtan Warriors. And this is a key matchup for both teams now in the playoff, both Division 6 teams. Kecoughtan kind of fell back a couple of games here, and they really need this game bad in order for them to have a chance to make the playoffs. Bethel, right now, they are 5-1 in the district, and they are right now, I believe, currently seated 7th or 8th in the region, so they can't afford to lose any either because that might drop them out of the race for a playoff spot. So, again, it's a key matchup for both teams tonight.
Yeah, and I think we're going to wear that word out, key, all year long, Mike, because as we've seen so far this year, it seems like almost every game played is a key game, and dropping someone in or out and showing someone to be just a little bit more ahead of where they used to be. So it's going to be a great game tonight. It's the Kecoughtan homecoming. They're playing Bethel, and like Mike said, both these teams are Bethel's right above Kecoughtan right now, and that close loss to Woodside, I believe it was 16-14 or 13-12. Has dropped Kecoughtan one game below Bethel, but, you know, Kecoughtan's playing tight defense. They're doing real well this year on offense. Anything can happen in tonight's game.
Well, there's a very good possibility as you look at it right now that all four teams from the city of Hampton may make the playoffs.
And wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, two of them in Division 6, and you have two of them, Hampton and Phoebus, both well in the playoff picture again, as usual, and they are Division 5. And right now, the Division 6 is pretty tight across the region. So, like you said before, this is one of those words we'll be using a lot tonight. This is a key game. The winner of this game tonight, even though they still have 3 more games left, it could lead to the playoff spot. If the loser, especially Kecoughtan at this point,
yes,
Kecoughtan loses tonight, it might just knock them out.
It might, and that's why it's almost a do-or-die game for them. And speaking of game, it's going to be one of those games where we're going to have good stuff on both sides of the line tonight, Mike, so just keep your eyes open.
All right, well, while we think about that, let's send it down to the sideline where Bob's got a guest. Let's send it down to Bob.
All right, thanks, guys. I got Scott Woodleaf here, Warrior coach. Scott, you've got a lot of close games this year, and turnovers has really hurt you.
Yeah, we have turned the ball over pretty much this year, and I think with the close games and having a young group of kids and trying to get them to believe in winning is it's a challenge, and I think it takes a few years, and hopefully, tonight, it's not a close one, so we'll be able to come out victorious.
Right. Now, we did talk a little bit about your offensive and defensive line, but you got 3 guys, Hollis, Sargent, and Claiborne. They're playing on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, we have a lot of guys that go both ways. We're unfortunate, that we don't have guys that can go one way. We're asking them to do a lot. We do some conditioning with them to be able to make them to be in shape so they can go both ways. And, probably about 4 minutes into the third quarter, is really when you start to see it.
Right.
But then at the end of the game, they usually have that last burst to be able to finish it up. And, and they've done a great job this year.
Well, you've got a couple good running backs in Pope, and this young guy, Trent Cannon, has really come along. In fact, he's got more yardage.
Yeah.
But you got to be pleased with a guy that comes off the bench that can produce like he does.
Yeah, Trent came in, and, we knew that he was going to be a special player. And he's came in this year, and he's done a heck of a job for us. I think he's leading the district in yardage and in touchdowns. And it gives us, a different wrinkle with him, with Adrian. I think they were 2 totally different running backs. Trenton's a more shaker guy, Adrian's a more speed guy. When you have a guy, with 2 guys, it allows the other guy to rest and be able to come in fresh. And I think that's helped both of them to be successful this year.
All right, now you're going to play a team that's going to put the ball up, and everybody's saying the game tonight is a passing against the running, and they're going to put it up, but this one's going to affect that pass.
I'm hoping so. At least one half, going this way, they're going to have the wind. Going the other way, they'll be throwing into the wind. But, they still got a pretty good running game. The quarterback runs the ball. Number 22 is, a good tailback there for them. He's hard to find. He's a little guy.
Right.
And he runs hard. And, I think, with Frank, at quarterback and being able to do some things, and he can throw the ball really, really well. We're just going to try to, contain them tonight and see how it, turns out.
Well, Coach, you've done second year over there. You're really starting to turn this program around. And a lot of people are talking about the strides that Kecoughtan's making. And I think when you said we got to learn to win, I think that's the key.
Yeah, well, I think it takes a little time, to turn a program around. I think we're in the right direction in doing that. I think the kids have bought into what we've, brought to the table for them. We try to put them in good positions, and and to be successful. And it's going to take a while, but I think we're in the right direction right now.
I think you do too. You got some good assistants underneath you.
Yeah, the head coach is only as good as your assistants, and they do a good job. They work hard, and the kids believe in them. So what we do on Sundays is very important for what shows up on Friday night.
Well, good luck to you tonight, Coach.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, let's go back up to the booth.
All right, thanks. Good job down there, Bob. And we're going to really see a good passing attack by the Bethel Bruins tonight.
You think?
They, the leading passer and receiver in the district so far this season, and then the case against that in regards to Kecoughtan is they got two running backs that are outstanding.
Yeah, and the amazing part of that is the one that leads pretty much the district is the one that comes in as the
reserve. Or the backup. Yeah, I mean, you see that a lot.
Yeah, and
you let the starter
Cannon
be the bruiser,
yeah.
And
then you come in and grab it up. But this Trenton Cannon has really taken off. 772 yards so far this season, Mike, with 9 touchdowns.
All right, here are your officials for the game tonight. The referee is Mr. Dennis Hicks. Demetrius Dotson is the umpire. Donnie Young is the linesman. Frank Spruill is the line judge. David Gear is the side judge. Hayward Goolsby is the field judge, and the back judge is George Webster. And it looks like we got a couple of changes there because these are the names that were given to me by our timekeeper up here.
And there you see the refs on the screen now as they're getting ready to begin this game tonight here at Darling Stadium. It is October the 14th, 2011. We are LSC, your local sports channel, bringing you Hampton High School, and I'm not meaning Hampton High School, Hampton City High School football Friday nights and one time Thursday.
Yeah, opening season this year was a Thursday night game. I'll tell you,
Did you recognize those two old geezers that were doing that game that night?
Well, that was actually a couple of old geezers. and I wouldn't really call them old. I mean, they're
not.
Tim Cole, he impressed me. He looked pretty good for not being around and doing this for a few years, and he did a very good job.
Tim always looks good.
Yeah. So let's send it back down to the sideline as Brent Musgrove now has one of the coaches from the Bethel Bruins.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with head coach Jeff Nelson, Bethel High School Bruins, your 5th-year coach. Now these players on the field are all yours. Standing here at 5-1, tough loss, and I won't get into that. Some defensive plays for the other team helped them more than anything. Still a strong season. You're in the top 8. I think you're about 7th right now in Division 6. Big game for everybody. Kecoughtan's had a couple of close, scrappy games. And, of course, this is a Hampton rivalry. Just any two teams from Hampton get on the field. Yeah, everybody knows everybody, and they're ready to get it on. But what I want to talk to you about a little bit is your defense. Your defense is really starting to gel, it looks like, and coming around. And yet you've got some young players playing defensive lines. I want to talk about a couple of them if it's okay. Tell me a little bit about the tackle, Ricky Walker, if you will.
Ricky Walker, he's a junior for us, and his brother's Rio that plays over at UVA. Great kid. He's got great grades. He's just a great kid all way around. Good athlete, works hard, takes leadership in that defensive line, and he's going to be a special kid these 2 years.
He's still an underclassman, right?
Yeah, he's still in the class. I still got another year with him, so he's gonna make me laugh. I'm happy with him.
All right, let's talk about Johnson, the other tackle, if you will.
Sherman played last year. He's a senior this year, and he plays defensive end for us. And he has worked from his freshman year to this year, and has really shown out with all the things he's learned. you know, it was his time to shine, and that's what he told me. He's like, Coach, I'm ready to shine, and he has. So those two guys on the defensive line with the others, they're helping get everything going, because first line of defense, you got to have them.
So your defensive line is kind of the key for the rest of the defense. It's all coming from there.
Yeah, that's right. Because, I mean, they got the first line of defense and the first line of offense. And if you don't have that control, you're in for a long night.
As Bob always says, the trenches. One last question, Coach. This is a traditional question. This is a traditional rivalry. Big game for both teams, like I said. What do you see? They say they're a running team and you're a passing team, and that's what they're trying to build this, the classic game. Is in your mind, when you were coaching this, preparing this team, was that where you went?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they've got two good running backs there, number 1, number 5 there. And that's what we got to come in and stop the run. And they still pass the ball, and we run, but, I mean, we mostly pass. But, I mean, getting into this late of the season, it's all about little things, your special teams, the fumbles, the turnover ratio. It's just those little things that are going to make you or break it.
Coach, I want to thank you so much for the hustle we put you into to get you over here. I mean, you were bouncing around the stadium like a ball yourself. Thanks so much, and I hope you're healing well. Okay, guys, back up to you.
All right. Good job down there, Brent. And let's talk a little bit about what we expect. The coaches talked some on it. I think passing, I mean, 1,300 yards plus passing so far for Brown of Bethel. That's a lot of yards.
Well, they've played, 6 games?
Yeah.
Figured out real quick. That's about 200 and some yards per game. I think we're going to see the air full of leather tonight. Frank Brown is going to throw the ball. Somebody's going to have to prove
Think
to
he's
him.
going to throw the ball?
Yeah, I think he is. I think somebody's going to have to prove that they can get to him before they can stop him from throwing the ball. And that boils down to, as both Brent and Bob will tell you, boils down to the trenches.
Correct.
Which line can control which line? And if Bethel can hold up against, and Kecoughtan has a ferocious defense, if Bethel can hold up against it, and they've proved that against many good teams so far, Frank Brown is going to throw that ball tonight.
Kecoughtan lost 3 games so far this season, but they've been really close games, and
yes, they have
gone either way. And
they could be 5-1.
That's right, and that's exactly what Bethel is right now, 5-1 overall. And even though Bethel has a 2-game lead over Kecoughtan in the not only district but the region, Kecoughtan is still not out of the regional playoffs.
No, not at all. And not only that, they have a good shot tonight at this game, because as much as Frank Brown is going to put it in the air, Kecoughtan's going to put it on the ground. And they're going to run.
Well, they're going to run. They're not going to put it on the ground.
2 guys that are just going to take it and take it and take it and take it. Of course, you know as well as I do, if you're running the ball and gaining yardage and getting first downs, you're keeping the ball out of Frank Brown's hands. And that's probably one of Kecoughtan's main weapons tonight, to try to keep the ball on offense and not let Frank Brown get a chance to get his arm going, because if he does, he's going to move that team downfield, baby.
As a whole, the Peninsula District this year has been pretty even. Of course, you've got the Phoebus Phantoms still undefeated in its long winning streak. But, hey, there's another team off of Queen Street right now that's riding right high, and that could turn out to be a dilly last game of the season right here. Now, let's send it back down the sidelines where Bob Hintz and Brent Musgrove have some closing thoughts down there on the sideline prior to the game.
Well, Bob, here it is, week 7. Big decision week. Bethel and Kecoughtan hanging on right on the edge of where they get a chance for the playoffs at 2-3 in the district, and Bethel at 4-1, 5-1, and it's going to be a big game tonight.
Well, you got a situation here where you've got a passing team against running team, and we've got a pretty strong wind going from left to right, and we just see how that plays out tonight. That's could affect not only the passing game but the kicking game.
Well, as you said, Bethel comes in here with the #1 passing quarterback in the district, and they have relied heavily on it. They got a nice running back, but they haven't been able to break him loose big. On the other hand, like you said, Kecoughtan's got 2 running backs. They're doing over 200 yards a game. So you called it.
Adrian Pope and Trent Cannon, 2 young men that are different in styles and can give the other one a rest and come in, and that helps the team. This team just got to learn to win. And this is what the coach was saying. They're getting better. They're getting better all the time. Had a tough loss against Woodside that I thought the coach said if we'd have run around a little bit before we scored and made it a little tougher on them, he said we might have won that one. But, that's hindsight.
Well, they've lost some close games. Like you said, they're one play away, either offense or defense. It's like they're one play away. And the coach is in his second year and trying to get his program in there. He's got a young quarterback. And I'm not saying it's a weakness. It's just something he's got to learn about throwing the ball.
Right.
If he can complete 4 or 5 passes a game, that's going to make that running game 20% better.
Well, it sure will. But, and I'll go back and use my old cliche in the trenches. If you can control the offense and defensive line, you're going to win this game tonight.
Well, I was balancing out the lines a little bit there. You know how I'm always playing with the pencil. And if you look at the offensive line for Bethel, they're 225, the front. If you look at the defensive line for Kecoughtan, they're 220. If you look at the defensive line for Bethel, they're 230, and the offensive line for Kecoughtan is 230. So now we're talking experience. What does it come down to?
Not only experience, but technique.
Exactly.
Coaching.
Well, why don't you wrap it up with this one last statement? We've talked about it. It's going to be a passing game, everybody says, against a running game. So if Bethel can stop the run or Kecoughtan can control the pass with this win, it's going to make for a whole different game.
It really will, and there's not much of that for me to sum up, but you said it all. Tonight's game is going to be a game between two contrasting teams and coaching style. So it'll be an interesting contest tonight, Tim.
Last week. With that, they both got a lot on the line. All right, guys, thanks so much. Take it back up.
Oh, my goodness. What great guys they are down there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now it's time to go to our corporate sponsors for tonight's game.
Today's game is sponsored by the Grey Goose Restaurant, located on West Queens Way in Hampton. Enjoy the wide selection of breakfast and lunch dishes, sure to please your appetite. Follow the Grey Goose Restaurant on Facebook, the restaurant that's also a bakery. Coliseum Central. Coliseum Central is located right in the heart of Hampton Roads, between Armistead Avenue and Interstate 64. You can take care of all your shopping, dining, entertainment, medical, and business needs right here. Who will represent you? Hampton athletes use Made Men Management because it's the best sports agency in the best area for sports. Rico's Pizza, located at 55 West Mercury Boulevard in the Langley Square Shopping Center. Rico's Pizza is sure to hit the spot after the game. Call 723-6850 today to place your order. Tidewater Team Sports, located at 11839B Cannon Boulevard in the Oyster Point section of Newport News. Tidewater Team Sports is your one-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidery, uniforms, and apparel. Call 594-0411 and talk to David Chubb or Terry McNamara. Sponsored in part by attorneys at Kaufman and Knowles, with offices in Hampton on Cunningham Drive across from Peninsula Town Center and in Newport News at City Center. Kaufman and Knowles. We can and we will. Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, located at 2552 North Armistead Avenue. The funeral director is Vernon Kruger. Beach Hardware, located at 1951 East Pembroke Avenue in the Buckrow Shopping Center. Beach Hardware is your friendly local hardware store with everything you need to maintain your home inside and out. Eric Thompson Realtor. Contact Eric to buy or sell a home or property. Give Eric a call at 685-3127 or email him at eric@findhrhomes.com.
Time here as the Bethel High School band will be playing our national anthem. could hear, you could hear it, but there was a group of gentlemen, young men sitting down here just wailing away with the national anthem. It was pretty cool.
And they sounded good.
Yep.
They sounded good as you see some of that crowd we were talking about right there. And on the left top of your screen, you'll see that group of young boys and girls that were singing the national anthem. And like I said, they sounded really good. Well, there's the crowd, and there's the band, the Kecoughtan High School band, as they leave the field. It is October the 4th, a nice day, a beautiful day. Weather in the, it was 76, I think, or 77 before I came up here. Isn't that what I said? 14th?
Yes, the 14th.
14th, I'm sorry, I said the 4th. It's the 14th of October.
I'm surprised there's not as many people across the way there with the Bethel. They usually bring a pretty good crowd.
Well, it's still a little early. People in Hampton sometimes come in the middle of the first quarter to these games as they go out and get a bite to eat and come here. Kecoughtan people are here a little early because it was homecoming from them. Of course, they have the homecoming parade.
We all got to sit out there next to the truck before we came up here and watch the parade go down Victoria Boulevard right in front of where we were sitting. So that we got a chance to see a lot of their floats and the convertible cars filled with the young ladies and the cheerleaders and all, and it looked pretty good, and it looked like they were really psyched up for tonight's game.
Oh, they are, but why wouldn't you be psyched up for tonight's game? I mean, this is a Kecoughtan-Bethel game. It's a game that's very important to both teams. There we watch John Johnson, one of the workers here at the stadium.
What a job they've done.
Yeah, they do every year.
A great job they've done working on the field this year. All the rain that we had at the beginning of the season. I mean, the first 3 weeks of the season, we've had we've had one game that we've been able to televise because the weather has knocked us out.
That was it.
So
but that doesn't stop people like John Johnson from working, though. He gets his crew out here, and they really go to town every day. And even when it rains, they have the game the next day.
Well, you figure this is the 7th week of the season, and there's sometimes 3 games played
in a week
on this field.
And that's tough.
So natural grass, and it's still in pretty good shape.
Of
course, Darling Stadium's always had a good reputation to have a good field, and that's why a lot of the playoff games are played here, because the field will be they're able to support the games based on the field conditions here.
Right, and it's good for the fans too. I mean, these seats are wonderful. You're down close there. The athletic director for the Kecoughtan Warriors, Mr. Lee Martin. He used to be the Dean of Boys, so we used to call him Dean Martin. Love it.
He's not laughing at that.
No, he didn't hear that. That's okay. He's a real nice young man, does a super job over at Kecoughtan High School as athletic director.
See, the principal's name at Kecoughtan is?
Ooh, and you get me on this one because they've got a new one this year. Raymond Haynes. He used to be at one of the new schools. And I'm hearing from the truck that Rashard Wright might even be here tonight somewhere for this game. But Raymond Haynes came from one of the new elementary middle schools. I believe it was, I want to say Phoenix. But don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. But Raymond Haynes is there. And, of course, our old friend from Phoebus is now over at Kecoughtan, Mr. Kevin Davis. And that's tough for him to go from Phoebus High School, where he's been for a long time. And the other year he went over and became an assistant principal at Kecoughtan High School. And, of course, at Bethel High School is that young man by the name of John Bailey. Used to teach with me at Jones Middle School, and now is the principal at Bethel, where he's been for several years. And he is now, as I'm told from the truck, Dr. John Bailey. Big Dr. John, good luck.
Officials on the field right now, looks like they're trying to get the captains out on the field so that we can get started with the coin toss. We are running just a little bit late right now, as the game is supposed to actually start in 5 minutes, so neither team is on the field. The Kecoughtan cheerleaders over here to our left, the near side of the field, is really going to town over there trying to draw that team out there, so look out when they come out here.
And there's the Kecoughtan Warriors waiting, ready, anticipating a game tonight that could make or break their season. I'm hearing other kids down there say, let's go, let's go, let's go. They're ready.
The Bethel Bruins across the way now walking out as they come to the field, and will head towards the goal line, and they'll kind of do their traditional walk in, and then they'll start running on again. And there's the Kecoughtan team sitting there waiting to get the cue to come on. And
there they go.
Here they come.
Led by looks like they're led Kecoughtan by number 11 out there. And I'll get you the name that goes number 11 was Terry Ricks. Terry Ricks for Kecoughtan was leading the Warriors out on the field. And you can hear, I call it the Atlanta song because that's where you hear that chop for the Atlanta Braves, but it's a Warrior song.
The head referee out there, Dennis Hicks, is standing about the 43-yard line looking at the Bruin teams, basically saying, come on, boys, let's go. It's time to play football here at Darlin Stadium.
And there go the Bethel Bruins, and I didn't get a chance to see who led them out.
As the 5-1 Bethel Bruins in here, and I want to say invade Darlin Stadium as they will be playing the host Kecoughtan Warriors, but this is basically a home field for both of these two big teams.
That's correct.
As well as it is with Hampton and Phoebus. As Darlin Stadium, the name of the stadium, obviously I'm not real sure when this particular stadium was built.
I know when it was built. It was built after the other one.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to build
the
it
other
on
one
top
had to
of
be
the other
taken
one.
down
That's
first.
right. Yes, yeah.
And
Then
I know
they built
this
one.
was sitting 50 yards to the west more than the other one was.
50 yards to the west.
Yeah.
That is
actually
correct.
the only part of the original stadium that is still here is the brick wall behind the visitor stand over there. If you can look across the stadium over there.
But I thought that was
brick
replaced
wall,
as well.
No, that brick wall is all that's left of Darlin Stadium.
Brent, and I did too. Is that? I thought they replaced the other one. That is the original.
And they have superb.
You'll be on this side of the field. Swat, turn around right there.
It's the one down here that was next to Thorpe that I used to climb up and get behind in the stands and go up in there.
All right, the Kecoughtan Warriors have won the toss. They have elected to receive. They will be on offense, and the Kecoughtan Warriors will defend the east end zone to start the game.
And for those of you at home watching TV, the east is going to be to your right. The west is going to be to your left.
Yeah, the old saying heading north and south doesn't it doesn't match on this field, right?
For the Kecoughtan Warriors tonight on offense, you're looking at tackle number 52, Devin Claiborne, the guard number 50, Samir Sargent, the center number 55, Chris Ring, guard 51, James Hollis, and tackle number 57, John McNulty White. The two wide receivers, number 10, Corbin Baxter, number 12, Eric Palmer, the tight end, number 11, Terrence Ricks. In the backfield, the quarterback is number 6, Nick Carrera, the running back, number 3, Keith Hill, and the tailback, number 5, Adrian Pope. Watch for number 1, Cannon, to come in the first set of plays.
Yeah, setting up deep down near the goal line for the Kecoughtan Warriors will be number 5, Adrian Pope.
Thank you for the Warriors, number 10, Corbin Baxter, number 12, Eric Palmer, and number 5, Adrian Pope. Getting ready to tee it up for the Bethel Bruins, number 99.
Can't see his number. Is it 89?
Which one are you looking for? The kicker? The kicker is
99. Jordan Shover, number 99.
99, Jordan Shover.
He has it teed up to the near side 40 hash mark.
Oops, I'm being told that's the wrong name down there. So I apologize.
Ball's
That's
taken at the 20-yard line on a short kick. Brought back 10 yards to the 30 as the Kecoughtan Warriors take first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
On defense for the Bruins at nose guard, number 55, Gabriel Saunders. At the tackles, number 49, Sherman Johnson, and number 50, Ricky Walker. The middle linebacker, number 4, Keith Phillips. Inside linebackers, number 26, Michael Artis, and number 11, Casey Pretlow. The outside linebackers are 21, Dominique McBride, and number 5, Willie Davis. The cornerbacks, number 7, Rashawn Proctor, number 14, Corey Sweetenberg, and the safety, number 20, Nicholas Clark. And again, we apologize for the kicker's name. We'll get that correct name for you here shortly, so please bear with us.
Pope on an end around, picks up 10, 11, 12, looks like 13 yards out to about the 42-yard line. Give him 12 on the carry and a Kecoughtan first down.
Nice little bit of pick and run there as Pope followed his blockers toward the left side, the near side of the field here, and gained some extra yardage by stopping, stuttering, and waiting for a couple of blocks. Good work by the line for the Warriors on that first play. Watch them to continue to grind it out here on the ground, Mike.
First and 10 from the 42. In the shotgun, here is the pitch to Pope as he gets outside the 45 to the 46. Gain of about 4 on the play, second down and 6. Say that again, guys.
It looks like we've got George Shover as the kicker. George Shover. Thank our Jordan.
Go ahead.
Hey, so we got number 99.
So it is Jordan
Shover, we're being told from the truck. But it looks like it might be number 89, guys, rather than 99.
Nick Carrera on a carry that time. He's going to be dropped for about a yard loss on the play. Third down and 7 now as the ball sits at the 45.
Okay, definitely Jordan Shover. And again, we apologize. We get these lineups from the schools before the games. And, of course, we have to go with what we have. But the truck is telling us it is Jordan Shover. And the number we will come up with here when we see him back out on the field.
Pass is a little bit overthrown to the intended receiver. I believe the intended receiver was Adrian Pope. It's incomplete. That's going to bring up a 4th and 7. Watch the replay here.
Rollout by Carrera to his right. He's got plenty of time. He just overthrew that one. That was a wobbly
intended
pass
for Keith Hill.
But please remember, the quarterback for the Warriors is but a freshman, folks. A freshman. Ooh.
Pope on the punt. Like it's going to be down short of the 35, down at about the 33, where the Bethel Bruins will take over first and 10.
That was almost like a little pooch kick there, and he almost got that thing blocked as he went back. Well, Bethel's going to start with good position on the field.
Frank Brown leading passer in the district so far this year with 1,300 plus yards. 3 wideouts to the far side, 1 to the near, single setback next to Brown. Hands the ball off to number 22, Chris Davis.
20 true works.
20 true, yeah. Pick up a couple out to the 35. Second down.
The offense for the Bethel Bruins at tackle number 51, Steve Mason. They're going to be quick guards. Number 58, Dylan Durris. And number 54, Mark Maddox. Guard number 59, Robbie Howard. The tackle number 56, Grady McLean. A split end number 7, Rashawn Proctor. And number 5, Willie Davis. The flankers number 80, Gerard Shop. And number 10, Alex Wilson. The tailback number 22, Chris Davis. And, of course, the quarterback number 6, Frank Brown. And we apologize for the quick speed we had to do this, but Bethel does run a semi-no huddle.
Davis next to Brown. In motion is Willie Davis, and it looks like there's going to be a little bit of motion, as that'll be a 5-yard penalty against Bethel.
Prior to the snap, illegal procedure, offense, replay the down.
On defense for the Kecoughtan Warriors at end, number 11, Terrence Ricks. At tackle, number 50, Samir Sargent. Number 51, James Hollis. At end, number 52, Devin Claiborne. The outside linebackers, number 32, Keyshawn Lynch. Number 12, Eric Palmer. The inside backers, number 9, Richie Staten. And number 3, Keith Hill. Cornerbacks, number 5, Adrian Pope. And number 10, Corbin Baxter. And the safety, number 22, Will Wright.
All right, second down and 13. Willie Davis in motion. There's a swing path and another flag as somebody was in motion again for the Bethel Bruins. That's going to cost them.
Prior to the snap, dead ball foul, offense, replay the down.
another 5 yards marked off against the Bruins. It'll bring up second down and 17.
2 5-yard penalties in a row now.
Takes away that good position that Bethel had when they started this series. But 10 yards is nothing for Frank Brown. He'll make that up in one pass, Mike.
Second down and about 18 now for the Bruins. Brown back to pass. It's complete but dropped at the 31-yard line. That'll be an incomplete pass. That'll bring up third down and 18.
Brown had some good protection that time. He had plenty of time.
Number 6.
The routes.
Receiver was open and he called it.
Yeah,
But
he was open, but
Coverage on the play for
Kecoughtan had some defenders out there. Let's see if we can see this.
Well, it was a short pass. It was only
It was
about
a short
6
pass,
yards.
but the routes were real short and real just kind of, I don't know, lackadaisical or something it looked like.
Third and long now for the Bruins. Brown back to pass. Being flushed out of the pocket. There's a pass that's going to be thrown short to the intended receiver, Alex Wilson. That's going to bring up a fourth down and 18 as the Kecoughtan defense did a really good job stopping the Bethel Bruin attack on their first series of downs.
Sure did. Looked like number 1, Trent Cannon, just came off that left side and he just barely got pushed. And he really got into Frank Brown quickly and forced him to scramble.
No score here in the first quarter. 8:38 to go here. Back to punt. A nice high spiral punt. Fair catch is called for at about the 36-yard line by Pope, and that's where Kecoughtan will take over first down. Looks like they're going to mark it at the 37. First and 10, Kecoughtan at their own 37-yard line.
So in the first quarter here, the first 2 series by both teams really don't show a whole lot. Kecoughtan ran the ball. Bethel threw the ball. Neither one of them got anywhere. They punted to each other, and now we'll see what goes from here.
It's a nice punt, though, you know.
That was a good punt. Good distance, good height.
Hand off up the middle out to about the 38.5-yard line. Maybe a gain of 2 on the play.
Michael Artis, the inside linebacker for the Bruins, in on the stop that play.
Down in a long 7 for the Warriors.
Good tough 3 yards though. Just give him the ball, let him run right up the middle, see what he can get. Kind of pound away at the middle, see if they can find any chinks there.
Nick Carrera, the quarterback, he's a freshman, 6 foot, 155 pounds.
Look at that, a lot of people in the box there, a lot of people there.
And off to Pope up the middle out to the 45-yard line, a gain of about 6 on the play. That's going to bring up a short third down at 2 for Kecoughtan.
Mr. Raymond Haynes and Kevin Davis in the middle of your screen there. That looks like it. We're trying to guess about another gentleman, Dan. It looks like Bill D on the right-hand side. Maybe we'll get confirmation on that a little later.
Hiding behind the other guy there, so. Here's a Pope around the left end, breaks the tackle, and gets to the Bethel 44-yard line. A nice run of about 11 on the play for Pope. That's going to bring up a first down for Kecoughtan.
Good play called by the Warriors that time. They pounded the middle, and watch this. The box is full. He bumps and slides right off to the left-hand side, outside that box where there's nobody out there, giving him some good yardage. Pope already with 6 rushes and 34 yards in the game. That was great play calling there.
Rare hands the ball off to number 1 this time, Trenton Cannon. He'll pick up a couple yards on the play.
There's a young man that they say is something to watch. He's the one that comes off the bench and just leads the district with 772 yards so far this year. Putting it right up the middle again. Let's see if they go up the middle. I'm guessing they'll go to the middle one more time, then they'll take something outside. Watch Bessel's defense.
For one play, so Pope back in there. Carrera in the shotgun, standing at the Bethel 46-yard line. There's a snap, and he's going to pitch it back to Pope, who cuts it up the middle. Not a lot there, as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. They may give him about a yard on the play.
Yeah, that's something you don't want to do there. You had all those defenders right there in the middle, and the linebackers stayed home to watch what was happening. They read that one perfectly.
Bethel played that well.
They did that.
3rd down and 6 now for.
Watch the replay.
Kecoughtan.
Watch the linebackers just sitting back there where you can't see them. Watch them come up now. Boom, boom, boom. They played that perfectly. Love that new replay, don't you? You're watching LSC, ladies and gentlemen. It is October the 14th, 2011. You're watching the Kecoughtan Warriors and the Bethel Bruins. I'm Paul Rowe along with Mike Hauser.
Air back to pass, a little swing pass to the near side, completed to number 3 on the play, and that's Keith Hill. He's looks like maybe, well, he's going to be close to a 1st down.
He's going to be a little short, I believe.
Looks like he might be at about half the length of the football short, where they've got it marked here. They'll probably call for
and there's a question we need to look at. Why is it that football people, we just can't say it's short? We got to say it's half a football short, or it's a football short.
Well, if we say it's short, it can be anywhere from. Tim Cole's not here.
Tim Cole. My Lord, that man can tell you whether it was 1.5 inches short from 50 yards away.
I think he's about half the length of the football short.
Good gracious.
And I can't see, so there you go.
I just think he's short. That's all. I just think he's short.
About half the length of the football.
He's about a football short.
So that's going to bring us.
There's the replay. Look at that nice pass right over the defender. He couldn't have put that any better if he'd have gone out there and handed it to him.
Let's see where they mark it with the stick there.
Well, they're going to mark it where the ball was. That's what.
All right, 4th down and a foot, we'll call it.
You're on the 34, 35-yard line.
Yeah, you're going to go for it here.
With the running game that Kecoughtan has, I would say definitely.
And the ball off to Pope and let him come to the near side. That's where the most of the success has been so far tonight.
We just saw Coach Woodliff talking to his young quarterback, just a freshman, Nick Carrera, number 6. Here it goes.
Formation, 2 wide outs to the far side, 1 to the near. And the ball off to number 3, right up the middle, gain of about 3 on the play, and a 1st down for the Kecoughtan Warriors as this drive will continue. Keith Hill on the carry.
Nice play call there, just right up the middle. Got some 2 good blocks. Watch this replay. Look at the blocks here. Cross blocks, boom. The hole was there. All Keith Hill had to do was fall down, really, to get that 1st down. Good call. Box is packed again. You see all 8 defenders right down there in the middle.
Pitch to Pope as he
Look
swings
at that
to the
nice
right.
block by number 3.
Pope breaks a tackle down inside the 5. Touchdown, Kecoughtan. As Pope goes 32 yards. Touchdown. Score here in the 1st quarter of play.
And I'll tell you what, Mike, if we've got a replay on this, watch Keith Hill, number 3, as he puts the block on the defender at the top of your screen. That's the block that sprung Pope and allowed him to get to the sideline and take it all the way into the end zone. Just a fantastic block by Keith Hill.
Robert Kirby for the extra point attempt. Kick is up and it is good. So with 4:16 to go here in the 1st quarter play, the Kecoughtan Warriors strike first here at Darling Stadium, and they lead the Bethel Bruins 7-0.
Now we've got a lot of games to go, ladies and gentlemen. 4:16 left in this. You're watching LSC here at Darling Stadium, October the 14th, 2011.
Let's watch the replay. Well, I thought we were going to have a replay. There we go.
We are.
Watch the replay of the run.
Yeah, we
pitch out to Pope, and he goes around the right end. Nice block by 11.
Yeah, but we missed that nice block by Keith Hill, number 3. That's the one that sprung him on the outside. It's a 32-yard touchdown run by Mr. Pope. 8 plays on the drive, taking up 4 minutes and 18 seconds and going 63 yards to put Kecoughtan up by a score of 7-0. So the ground game strikes first. Keep your eyes on Frank Brown, ladies and gentlemen, because This man can throw.
Well,
And he will.
He's been able to throw. Looked like Kecoughtan's defense did a good job on their first. Let's look at a different view of that replay of that run here.
Here we go. This is going to show you. Watch number 3. See him out there. Watch this block. Look at that. Look at
nice
that.
kick out block there and allowed Pope to get around the outside.
Beautiful.
Here's a short kickoff.
Ooh.
Taken by the Bruins, number 5 on the play, and that's Willie Davis. He'll bring the ball out to about the 35 where the Bruins will take over first and 10.
Good job by our replay crew down there and our cameramen and women getting a nice shot of that play.
Andy was telling me during the week that the new replay system they got can show replays of like 4 or 5 different views at any given time.
Yeah.
So that's something new that we'll be able to have.
That'll be great. That'll be really good. And, of course, our instant replay person, new young lady with us, Miss Krista Campbell. Doing a good job back there, young lady. Boom.
Pass over the middle to the Bruins number 80 on the play. Gerard Sharp is good for about 6 yards out to the 41. That'll be a 2nd down and 4 now for the Bruins.
Brown had his eyes on him the whole way.
Yeah,
You'll see him just come off that side and just kind of does a slow slant take, and then boom, he just hits him coming in front of the backer.
Shotgun again is Brown. 4 wide outs. Here's a handoff. No, he keeps it himself and is able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Looks like they may mark him. About a yard gain on the play, so that's going to bring up 3rd and 3 for the Bruins.
Bruins got to do that every now and then. You got to keep Kecoughtan's defense honest. Otherwise, those guys are going to be coming off the ball, just blowing back there as quick as they can. You're going to have to get some running yardage in order to open up that passing game.
22, Chris Davis next to Brown. Trying to draw Kecoughtan offside on the hard counts there by Brown, and good job by Kecoughtan not to do that, so the Bruins will have to run the play. Davis back throws.
Oh.
It's complete, and that was an outstanding catch and throw right there. Nope, he dropped the ball.
Dropped it.
My mistake, I thought he had the ball, and the ball's laying down at the 48-yard line. Incomplete pass will bring up another kicking situation for the Bruins. 3rd down and 4.
Nice run on the route by the receiver, and he's able to stop and come back. The pass was up. He had to get it over the inside defender and keep it where the outside defender couldn't get to it.
Frank Brown in deep punt formation for the Bruins. Adrian Pope is back to receive it now near the 21-yard line. And looks like somebody jumped early.
Prior to the snap, procedure on offense, 5-yard penalty,
That's
previous spot,
the 3rd
replay
one.
the down.
3rd one tonight already here in the 1st quarter. That's 15 yards in penalties. 4th down and 8 now. Adrian Pope standing at his own 27-yard line waiting for Frank Brown's punt. Over end is going to be short. Pope will let it drop as it rolls down near the 20-yard line where Kecoughtan will start their downs. It looks like there's a flag over on the far side.
21-yard line. There is a flag.
Like another one just went down.
I think he just moved it from one spot to the other.
Okay.
Let's see what the call is. We'll wait for the referee, Mr. Dennis Hicks, to let us know.
Like illegal use of hands or blocking the back.
They'll take it back half the distance to the goal.
There's some of the crowd in our stands tonight here at the game. You see the short sleeves. Nice weather out there, real nice weather.
Ball sitting at the 21. They'll go half the distance.
But a foul during the return, blocking the back. Return team, 10 yards from the end of the run, 1st down.
Pushes them back to just inside the 11-yard line where Kecoughtan will take over deep in their own territory. 2:44 to go here opening period as they lead Bethel 7-0.
Good opportunity for this strong Bethel defense here to hold the Warriors and end up with some good field position. We'll see how they handle this. They've done well all season long. Continue to pack the box.
Barrow will take the ball, pitch it back to, that's number 1, I believe, Trenton Cannon, as he comes around the near side. Picks up maybe a yard, and that's about it.
Looks like he slipped there as he was getting ready to make a cut, went down.
Second down and about 9 for the Warriors.
Replay, let's see if we can see if he slipped or got hit here. Jesse makes a cut right here. Yeah, he kind of slipped. Saw his one foot kind of twisted, and then the other one got out of balance, and he slipped right off his feet. Bethel defense, though, sliding over, trying to contain the runner, kept him inside. And that's where they want him. The way they're playing their defense there in that box, they want to keep the runner inside that area.
There's a handoff up to the up by Keith Hill, and he's down near the 49-yard line. A great run right there. That was a nice offensive play for the Kecoughtan Warriors. A big gain.
I think that's a good block in there. If you look at the Bethel defense, they've shifted toward the right-hand side, the lower part of your screen. They had 3 coverage on the receivers, and once Hill slipped that tackle, he had some people in front of him, and then he just outran the rest of the defense.
That was a gain of 35 yards on the play. 1st and 10 with the ball sitting at the 46.
Minute 48 left here in the first quarter, as you see Coach Scott Woodliff there with his hat on backwards. Bethel really packed their defense now with just 2 guys out to this side. And look at this.
There's that speed and the cutbacks that we were talking about earlier. Trenton Cannon on the carry. Nice pickup of about 16 yards on the play, as it's now marked at the 38-yard line. And Bethel's defense is going to have to do something here, because right now the offensive line and the running back play for Kecoughtan is doing a great job.
Well, watch him. The line is blocking down on the defense, and once the running back gets to the outside, he can come. It's like he's just running around the box and coming back into the open hole that's behind the defenders. They're going to have to spread out a little bit back there. They're not going. They don't need to pack it like they've been doing it. Look at this.
It off to.
There he goes.
Cannon again around to the left side, cuts all the way across to the right side, all the way down to about the 15-yard line, and another big run by one of the leading running backs, rushers for the district this year, and that's Trenton Cannon. Hey, let's send it down the sidelines with Bob Hintz. What do you got down there?
Hey, guys, if you remember the interview I had with Coach Woodleaf, he was talking about the running style, the 2 different running style, that number 1, Cannon is more of a shake and bake type of runner, where Pope has got the speed. And you can see those 2 long runs, what he did and how he was able to move laterally when he needed to. And here he's going right up the middle again. And that's the kind of things that Kecoughtan brings. They got 2 distinctively different runners.
Bob, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. From up in the booth, I'm watching the Kecoughtan offensive line blocking down on the Bethel Bruins. They're stacking the box in there, and it appears that the Warrior offensive line is able to get on top of them. Is that what you're seeing?
Absolutely. They're controlling that line of scrimmage, but if you look at the way that both teams are approaching the ball, Bethel looks like they're just not into the game yet. And Kecoughtan is on top of it.
I agree.
And it's still early.
Adrian Pope on the carry down near the 5-yard line. He's close to a first down.
Prior to that run right there and the one before that, Kecoughtan already with 6 rushing first downs and 124 yards on the ground, and that's in the first quarter.
Well, we've come to the end of the first quarter play here at Darling Stadium, as the Kecoughtan Warriors threaten to score again here. They lead us with 7-0 over the Bethel Bruins.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching LSC, your local sports channel, on October the 14th, 2011, coming to you from Darling Stadium.
Live from Darling Stadium.
Live from Darling Stadium, that's correct, unless you're watching us tomorrow, in which case we're not live. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, our sponsors for tonight's game, The Grey Goose Restaurant, located on West Queensway in Hampton. Breakfast menu items include their famous toasted buttermilk biscuits, and for lunch, try their new smoked turkey panini. Follow the Grey Goose Restaurant on Facebook. Today's game is also sponsored by Rico's Pizza, located at 55 West Mercury Boulevard in the Langley Square Shopping Center. Stop in after the game, pick up a pizza or one of their many menu items. Rico's Pizza is sure to hit the spot after you watch your hometown team go head-to-head. Also by Coliseum Central. Coliseum Central, located right in the heart of Hampton Roads between Armistead Avenue and Interstate 64. You can take care of all your shopping, dining, entertainment, medical, and business needs right here. Coliseum Central, get centered. And by Made Men Management. Hampton athletes use Made Men Management because it's the best sports agency in the best area for sports. Former football player Justin Russell is a certified sports agent giving you a full-service sports management experience. And by Tidewater Team Sports, located on Cannon Boulevard in Oyster Point. And the second quarter is also sponsored by Beach Hardware, located at 1951 East Pembroke Avenue in the Buckler Shopping Center. It's your friendly local hardware store with everything you need to maintain your home inside and out.
Well, a third down and one didn't net the first down as Adrian Pope was stopped short. And he will lose about 2 on the play. That's going to bring up 4th down and 3, as it looks like they will be trying to kick a field goal. Let's send it back down to Bob again.
Hey, fellas, one thing you need to look at is that when Bethel came back out this last time, they brought their goal line defense, and you see you can't run the same type of plays against the goal line as you can going down the field. Another side note is that Frank Brown, the quarterback over at Bethel, his dad was a quarterback at Bethel under Coach Kozlowski, so he comes in his jeans, guys.
Robert Kirby on a 25-yard field goal for the Kecoughtan Warriors as the Warriors extend that lead now 10-0 at the beginning of the second quarter of play.
And Mike got a couple of stats here in the first quarter. For the Kecoughtan Warriors, the young running back Cannon with 49 yards, Mr. Hill with 37 yards, and Mr. Pope with 71 yards for a total of 157 yards in the first quarter. And of course that goes along with a touchdown and a field goal that gives the Warriors a 10-0 lead at this time. As there you see Coach Woodliff talking to one of his players. That's Samir Sargent, number 50, and there walking toward us is the young quarterback Nick Carrera. Just a freshman, guys, just a freshman.
Kecoughtan right now is winning the battle at the line, and it's given them that 10-0 lead here early in the second quarter of play.
On that scoring drive, Kirby's 25-yard field goal after a 7-play drive, taking up 3 minutes and 41 seconds that started on Kecoughtan's own 11-yard line.
Kirby will kick the ball into the end zone, and that'll bring the ball out to the 20-yard line where the Bethel Bruins offensively will start 1st and 10. Interesting first quarter play.
Yes, it was. Not quite what I expected at all.
Much like last night's game wasn't expected, right?
Well, yeah. Yeah. I expected to see a little bit of a different quarter there. But again, this game is early. We're only in the second quarter, folks.
You know, we talked earlier about one of the keys to this game for Kecoughtan, and that was to keep Bethel's offense off the field, and so far they've been able to do it. Their running has ate up a lot of the clock, and Bethel has not been able to produce a first down yet.
Yeah, we talked a lot about that.
Legal procedure on offense.
That is their 4th
Replay
procedure penalty in the first half already. You know the Bruins over there are not happy about what's going on right now.
I can tell you Jeff Nelson's not happy about that at all.
So it'll be 1st and 15 as the ball goes back to the 15-yard line. Brown is in the shotgun like he normally is. Wide receivers are 2 to either side of the line. Ball's handed off to Chris Davis up the middle. Might pick up a yard on the play, and that's about it. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 14 for the Bruins.
I don't know how many running plays Bethel's had, but they have not gotten much yardage out of that at all. And unfortunately for them, the passing game hasn't garnered them anything either. Look at that big crowd out there. Kecoughtan High side. Homecoming, of course, for them.
Brown back to pass.
He's got an opening
Throws
there.
it deep down the left near sideline, overthrown. It was intended for number 5 on the play, Willie Davis.
I'll tell you what, Davis ran a good route there, and when he made that turn and spun the defender around, he had an open path, and if Frank had gotten that one to him, he'd have been gone. He'd have been gone. Watch this one. Brown back, got a good arm. Put that thing there, just went further than he wanted it to. Brown for the night, 1 for 5, just 6 yards. This for a guy who puts up over 200 yards per game.
Back to pass on a 3rd down and long. Gets away from the defense, and not for long as the Warriors will swarm and sack him for a yard loss back to the 15. And that will bring up a 4th down and long. And guys, I don't think Bethel does not have a first down yet in the game, do they?
I don't think they do.
For a team that leads the district in passing, they haven't even come close to a first down. As Kecoughtan's defense has really done a good job swarming the ball.
Yeah, well, watch the defense here to get in on Brown. Brown usually has some good time back there. This series or this play, he didn't have time at all. The Warriors were able to get through.
Brown back to punt the ball away now for the Bruins. Adrian Pope standing at the Bethel 48.
Nice punt.
End over end as he takes the ball at his own 48 and splits the defense. Comes to the near side. He has one guy to beat and nothing doing there. And Adrian Pope go 52 yards on a return for a touchdown for the Kecoughtan Warriors.
Well, there was lightning striking, ladies and gentlemen. Bethel deep in their own territory, forced to punt. Get off a nice punt, but Pope takes it, goes upfield, sees a block to the outside, cuts back, cuts to the outside, and is gone.
Only one player for Bethel had a chance of stopping him, and that was Brown, and there was nothing doing there.
Well, no, he had a man on him, and he just kind of hit him and shoved him out of the way, and you're not going to catch speed that Pope has.
Robert Kirby for the Kecoughtan Warriors in for the extra point. Kick is up, and it is through the upright, and it's good. It is now Kecoughtan 17, and the Bethel Bruins nothing.
Watch this. Pope takes it here. Now watch him. He looks, cuts inside. Now he goes out. He's got the speed to beat the guys on the inside, and then just right past the quarterback, Brown, who had no chance catching it.
9:36 to go in the second quarter of play, and what a shocker.
Yes.
Bethel Bruins trail the Kecoughtan Warriors 17-0 here at Darling Stadium.
And I tell you what, after those last couple of games that Kecoughtan has lost by just a point or two, you know they had to be feeling bad. It was up to Scott Woodliff, the coach for the Warriors, to get this team hyped up for this game. I don't know what he said. I don't know what he did.
It worked.
But I'll tell you what, he has got this team playing tonight.
Kirby sets the ball at the 40-yard line as he gets set to kick it off.
And once again, I go back to what you and I have been talking about here and what we talked about before the game. It all starts with defense. If you want to beat Bethel, you got to keep Frank Brown on the bench. Well, Bethel, no first downs, 8 total yards. 6 passing, 2 rushing. Kecoughtan's defense is doing a whale of a job.
That's about as dominating defensive performance that you could ever ask for. Now, it's only the first half, but it's already 17-0.
Yes.
The Bruins need to get something on the board here before halftime.
They need a sustained drive is what they need.
Well, they need to be able to get a first down to get it started as the ball goes through the hands and into the end zone. So the Bethel Bruins again starting back at their 20-yard line, 1st and 10. 9:36 to go here in the second quarter of play.
Well, let's see.
Interesting first half. No first downs for Bethel. Man, who would ever thought that, right?
Not me.
Well,
I mean, 1,346 yards passing, 12 TDs.
But a good football team has got to have a running game that's got to be able to complement at least the passing game.
And we have not seen
versa.
a running game, but credit that to Kecoughtan's defense tonight. Don't It's not all on Bethel's offense. That Warrior defense is giving them a rough time out there tonight.
Absolutely. 1st and 10 at the 20. Brown back to pass. Pass over the middle, wide open, and through the hands and almost intercepted as it was intended for number 9 on the play, Damian Houston. And that one there, folks, could have gone for a lot of yards.
It could. Did you notice something about that play? How long, watch.
How long Frank Brown had to
wait, but on the other end, he had to wait that long. Kecoughtan has the receivers covered, and they're having to break routes to find an opening.
I'll tell you what, the guy was wide open, and it went right into his hands, and hit him in the wrong spot.
Yes, it did. Right in the hands. In the first quarter, Bethel had it for 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Kecoughtan 9 minutes and 20 seconds. We'll see what goes here. He's got a man cutting
Another
across.
pass over the middle, almost intercepted. Actually, the defense more like it was the offensive player on that play.
Yes. Brown was throwing it to the right area. The receiver just didn't quite get to it.
Proctor is limping back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 10 now for Bethel. And again,
watch
the
this.
pass was right there by the receiver.
Yep, watch this. Boom, almost right into the arms of Kecoughtan Warriors again.
Let him a little bit on the play.
Yeah.
3rd down and long. Back to pass. He is flushed and down, sacked inside the 15, down to about the 12 or 13-yard line. And the relentless pursuit of the Kecoughtan defense is really showing through tonight.
Not only that, but if you notice, Mike, they're going for passes that are over 10 yards. They need to shorten up. Kecoughtan is getting in there too quick. Their defenders are staying with the receivers. They're going to have to do some quick outs, some turn patterns, some comebacks, just some short passes to get going here.
Frank sets up to, Brown sets up to do the punting for the Warriors, or for Bethel. And that ball was partially blocked, guys. And it hit a Kecoughtan player, too, by the way, right there. It looked like it hit the feet of number 51, which meant Bethel should have been able to get the ball.
It looked like it, but I'm not sure it did.
Ball was partially blocked on the punt. Let's see. Let's watch
this again here. See if we can see who got in to block that. Don't know who it was.
Now let's see if it hit the foot of the Kecoughtan player right there. No, it did not. No,
it didn't. Just look at one bounce there. It looked like it did, but it didn't. Good call by the refs.
I'll tell you what good field position to start this drive for the Kecoughtan Warriors. 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line of Bethel. 8:37 to go, and I tell you, if Kecoughtan scores here, Bethel's in deep trouble. Falls back over 20 points here in the first half. And off to Pope up the middle is going to pick up about 2, maybe 3 yards on the play.
I'm not sure I'd say they'd be in deep trouble. I've got a lot of confidence in Frank Brown. I think he could bring him back, but it's going to put Bethel in a different situation if they allow another score here. That's for sure. It'll be tough. As we've seen over the years, anything can happen.
Yep, that's right. Carrera, freshman quarterback for Kecoughtan, leading the way here for the Warriors.
He doesn't seem like a freshman playing out there tonight, does he?
Oh, of course, you got the running of
Pope and Cannon.
That's right.
And Hill.
And here goes Pope up the middle again. Cuts it to the near side, gets down inside the 25 to about the 22-yard line. He's going to be about 3 yards shy of the first down.
He reminded me of a pinball game on that one. He just went,
from
hit,
one side.
bounced here, hit there, bounced here, back here, boom. He's just hard to bring down.
All right, here comes Cannon coming in now.
Watch this replay on him. And get the ball here and watch it. Boom, bounces out. Boom, bounces back the other way. Boom, bounces up.
Trenton Cannon now will come in and run the ball for Kecoughtan.
I would guess he's probably going to get the ball.
Calling a timeout here because they're letting the clock run down some.
Haven't had too many timeouts here.
So Kecoughtan calls timeout. That's
timeout.
First.
Kecoughtan.
That leaves them with 2 here in the first half. already up 17-0. Go ahead.
While we've got a minute here,
Let's
ladies
talk
and
about the
gentlemen,
crew.
we've got a great crew out here tonight bringing you this game from Darling Stadium on October the 14th, 2011. On our cameras tonight, we have Mr. Ron Baton.
Had to bring him out of,
had to get him out of retirement. Susan Bowers, Gene Wheeler, and Steve Fryer. Our graphics animation is Mr. Andy Foley. The slow motion instant replay is Krista Campbell. The camera control operator, Renee Camden. The chief engineer, well, it's not Don Scharouse tonight, I don't think. And the engineer is Greg Lesko, and the director-producer, Mr. Scotty Bowers. Up here in the booth, it's Paul Rowe, Mike Hauser, along with Brent Musgrove and Frank Edgar on the stats. And our sideline guru, the man who knows more about sports in this area besides Conkey Sorrell, and that's Bob Hintz.
Replay of the
that was a great
punt
run
return
right there on that punt return by Mr. Pope.
3rd down and about 3 for the Warriors as they come back out after the timeout. And let's see what they have in store for us now. Bethel's Bruins their defense needs to stiffen up here.
They're going
to
to
throw the ball, and he overthrew a wide open Keith Hill on the play. And he not only had the first down, but a bunch of yards behind it, too.
Yes, he would. He was, as you said, wide open. I think.
See if they're going to go for it on 4th, or will they kick a field goal?
I'd let young Mr. Robert Kirby.
And that's what they're going to do.
I'm sorry, Mom. It's Robert Curry.
Robert
Kirby. I'll get it right in a minute.
And this will be 28, 38-yard field goal attempt out of the hold of number 12, Eric Palmer. It's down. The kick is up. It's long enough. And it looks like it's good.
Look at that.
How about that? 38-yard line drive field goal. And Kecoughtan Warriors extend that lead now to 20-0.
That's called making the most of all your scoring opportunities.
That's amazing. .656 to go here in the second quarter of play. 20-0.
We're hearing information that young Mr. Robert Kirby was kind of drafted off the soccer team at Kecoughtan High School. The football team needed someone to do the kicking, and they picked up Mr. Robert Kirby and said, hey, we're going to teach you how to kick a football instead of a soccer ball.
I don't think anybody taught him. He seems like he's a natural. He's doing pretty good.
His dad probably taught him.
End over end, kicks a bit short at the 7-yard line. Taken by the Warriors, the Bethel Bruins, number 5 on the play, Willie Davis, all the way out to about the 28-yard line. So they're not quite bottled up like they have been here lately. They'll have a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
He got blasted that time by Keith Hill. Looked like number 14 in there with him, DeQuan Taylor. They just brought him right down.
Again, 4 wideouts, 2 to the near side, 2 split to the far side. Single setback is number 22, Chris Davis. Frank Brown hands the ball off to Davis. And there is another flag on the play.
Will it be number 5?
Prior to the snap.
Yep.
Procedure.
Got another one.
Offense.
Got another flag just went down.
Kecoughtan had too many men on the field.
I think it's going to be something else, Mike. I think it's
sideline.
We have a delayed game penalty on the offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot.
Oh. Add 5 more to it.
So it's going to be 1st and 20.
It's going to be 1st and 20.
update on the Kecoughtan Warriors game tonight. Cannon with 49 yards. Hill still with 37. Pope with 76. 162 yards with 6 minutes to go in the first half.
Frank Brown at 1st and 20 now. Ball inside the 20-yard line.
Got a man on this side.
He's hit as he throws it wide open down the field. Oh, what a catch! Number 5 on the play, Willie Davis just extends right out and makes the catch at the Kecoughtan 35, 36-yard line.
Not just a catch, Michael. That was a fabulous, fantastic catch. Watch this on the replay.
46 yards on the play.
Brown's got good time. He gets hit right there, but look at this pass right on the money.
Now maybe that'll jumpstart the Bruins here. 1st and 10 at Kecoughtan's 36.
They were looking for that play the whole way because he had one man open about 10, 15 yards on the bottom of the screen here. Nobody near him.
And the ball up the middle that time to Chris Davis. Not a lot there as he's able to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for Bethel. There's a view of the good crowd here from the Kecoughtan sideline.
Remember, it's homecoming for the Warriors, so they've got a lot of people out here. Bethel, I still say Bethel needs a little short pass here to get them some confidence into getting things going again.
Their first down of the game by Galloway. Brown again in shotgun. Hit as he's thrown.
Oh, nice. Nice again.
And Willie Davis. Ball bounces out of his hands on the catch, and he stays with it and makes the catch.
These receivers have found something out there, Mike, because they're getting wide open now. At least Davis is on this pass. Brown gets hit as he throws, but look at Davis. There's nobody near him within 5-6 yards.
That's an outstanding catch right there.
Yes, it is.
That's 2 in a row by Davis, too, by the way.
This is the breath that Bethel needed right here.
Now goes in motion. Like the back judge has thrown a flag.
Prior to
Number
snap,
6.
dead ball foul, offense, 5 yards previous spot.
Penalties. Is it 7?
7?
Where did we miss one?
Good gracious.
7 procedure penalties by
Penalties too.
by Bethel. Wow, 35 yards just in movement. So it's 1st and 15 now. Ball back at about the 28-yard line. Brown in the shotgun. Hands the ball off to number 22 on a sweep, Chris Davis. Nothing there.
In fact, he probably lost a yard or two.
Yeah. Number 32 on the tackle there for Kecoughtan, Kecoughtan Lynch. Good job on that one. He's going to lose, what, 4? About 4 yards on the play. 2nd down and 17.
Here's Brown with the turn and give. He just keeps running and running. He's running
nowhere.
He's running horizontally when he needs to run vertically.
He was running south on that play.
Well, yeah, that's true. Rushing tonight, Bethel with 7 carries, -3 yards. Frank Edgar doing our stats tonight along with Brett Musgrove. Ooh.
Brown hit as he throws. It was intended, I believe, for number 9 on the play, Damian Houston. Short and incomplete.
They must have hit him at the right angle or got part of his arm on that one, because that pass looked like a dying quail out there. That wasn't a Frank Brown pass.
Bethel will call timeout here.
Bethel.
That's one timeout call. So each team now with 2 in the last 4 minutes of the first half.
And don't give up on Bethel yet, ladies and gentlemen. It's 20-0, but 2 touchdowns will make this a close game. Look at the Warriors defense getting in here. Boom, boom. Nice camera work by the crew here at LSC. Don't know whether that was Ron Bateman. I know it wasn't Susan. She's up here to our right. It might have been Gene or Steve. I don't know who's up here. But great, great. Ron and Susan are up here, so it had to be Gene or Steve. Thank you, guys. Good job.
What you got there?
Frank Brown now 3 for 10, 65 yards. It won't take him long to wind up and get going. There's Susie right there. Hey, Susie.
You made a statement earlier that the Bruins need to start hitting some of these short passes to try to open it up a little bit. And I agree with you there. Most of the passes that Browns tried to attempt tonight have been down the field. And of course, if you've got your safeties all laying back in waiting, so to speak, you have to have a catch like the Bethel Hunt player had earlier.
Yeah. Well, Davis has made two
here's
great
another
catches.
one down the field.
Oh, he's open.
He cuts across the field. Oh, and that ball should have been intercepted. Adrian Pope had a chance of intercepting that ball, and he kind of gave up.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looked like he just gave up there at the last minute.
The ball was thrown to the post, or I'm sorry, to the corner. And the receiver cut towards the post, and there's old way Adrian Pope sitting out there by him lonesome. And he kind of stuck his hands out instead of actually trying to catch it. And I think that would have been a nice interception.
It would have. Look at this. This is a timing play. It just went to the wrong place, and Pope just kind of, I don't know, he missed it.
4th down and 17 here as
well, here comes the outside.
Passes down the middle of the field, overthrown everybody, incomplete. It was intended for the Bruins number 9 on the play, Damon Houston, incomplete. That will turn the ball over to Kecoughtan as they will take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line. And again, they continue to try to throw the ball deep down the field on almost every play. You would think that they would have some shorter passes to try to open it up.
Because you've been seeing men open underneath as we see that pass that, again,
I'll tell you what,
receiver went one way,
did a pretty good job trying to get back at that ball, but the quarterback and the receiver weren't on the same page with that pass.
Yeah.
Pope want to carry up the middle to the 30. Gain of maybe a yard. That's about it.
There's a better play by the Bethel defense right there. Is that Kelly D? Kelly D used to be the band director at Kecoughtan High School. Now I believe he's the head of the, I guess, music department or band department for Hampton City Schools. And just a wonderful person, great guy.
3:20 to go here in the second quarter. 20-0 Kecoughtan. 2nd down and a long 9 now for Kecoughtan at their own 30-yard line.
Let's see if that last offensive drive there will pick up the Bethel defense. They made a good stop on that last carry. And here's another one right here.
Hope as he stopped short of the 30, he might lose about a foot on the play.
Now, if Kecoughtan continues the way they've been going in this game, you're going to see them take a step or two toward the middle and then look for the outside. They're going to set up some way and hope that Bethel will stack the center like they've done before. Try to get them forced inside and then pop outside to get some big yardage. We'll see what happens.
Trenton Cannon in the game now for the Warriors as he is in the tailback spot.
Bob, keep your eye on some changes down there. I think we're seeing a swing here.
Cannon on sweep, cuts it outside and stopped well short of the 1st down. That'll bring up a 4th down and about 5 for Kecoughtan.
I think Bethel's defense is beginning to read the book now. They got 2 punches inside and 1 to the outside, and Bethel was ready for this outside one. Contained the runner, forced him back, and stopped him this time. Watch this. Here's the pitch to the outside. They go out, and Bethel is right there. Look at him. 3 or 4 guys on that outside to keep them from getting to that corner.
Well, with 1:58 to go here before the half, Bethel uses timeout number 2 to try to save a little bit of the clock for them.
And while they're at that timeout, Bob Hintz, can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Are you seeing anything down there?
I'm seeing some people that are playing unbelievable ball. You look at number 51, James Hollis. He is dominating his position both offensively and defensively. Just unbelievable how well the Kecoughtan Warriors are handling the offensive line and the defensive line of the Bruins. I did not expect that to happen.
Are you seeing any change now, maybe a little more motivation or energy in the Bethel defensive line at this time after that big offensive series?
No, I think what you're seeing is Kecoughtan being a little conservative. They're not looking to do anything but maybe run out the clock. They're going to punt the ball now. They didn't try anything special. They just wanted to run the clock off. Going to halftime with a 20-point lead, that's not a bad thing.
Not at all. Thank you, Bob Hintz. Appreciate it.
And over in punt as it pushes number 5, Willie Davis, back. And nothing doing there as Kecoughtan's special teams did a good job keeping the Bethel Bruins bottled up in their own end, and it'll be 1st and 10 as they will take over at their own 25-yard line with 1:51 to go.
Ladies
here
and
before
gentlemen,
halftime.
You're watching LSC October the 14th. We hope you're enjoying tonight's game as we bring it to you live. If you missed us tonight, of course, you can see us Saturday, October the 15th at 4:30 p.m. You can see us Tuesday, October the 18th at 6 a.m. and at 6 p.m. You can watch us once again on October the 20th at 8:30 a.m. and 8:30 p.m.
We had Hull on the returning team. 10 yards from the end of the run, 1st down.
And you can also see us on Monday, October the 24th at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. LSC, Cox Channel 48, Verizon Fios Channel 22. We're bringing you sports.
Now 23. They
Oh,
moved
we're
us.
23 now, I've been told.
Yep.
We're now 20. We've been moved to 23. Yep. Hey, we're moving up in the world. Bringing you sports 24/7.
All right, Bethel will take over 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line. Another costly penalty right there. 45 total yards on 8 of them so far here in the first half.
He's open.
Wide open down the field. He pumps back for the catch at the 50 and carries all the way down to the 35-yard line, and that's an outstanding play. Pitch and catches. That's number 7, Rashawn Proctor, on the reception for Bethel.
And watch this replay. Rashawn Proctor just took off, turned the jets on, and blew by the defense. He was gone.
50-yard pass. Well, he came back for the ball.
Yeah, that's why I say he was gone.
1st and 10. Good play that time by the Bruins. Add a little yardage to the pass, and back is Brown again. Trying to catch it with his shoulder instead of catching it with his hands, and it's an incomplete pass. And that was an outstanding play by Brown right there. You know, the comeback receiver was open and should have caught the ball.
Yeah.
Incomplete pass brings up 2nd down at 10 for.
Here's the perfect instant, Mike. You got 1 minute and 29 seconds left. You get some short, quick passes to the outside, get some hook patterns. You're going to march down that field very quickly. Of course, I know people will say, hey, you throw the ball long, you hit the receiver, you get down there a whole lot faster. And you do. Kecoughtan,
Yeah, but
right?
your percentages are much lower.
Lower, yeah. Kecoughtan's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people now in the back. They got a 4-man rush, and that's all they're sending is 4. Everybody else is back. Oh, he couldn't have put that in a better place if he'd have gone up there and handed it to him.
It was completed to Willie Davis. Out of bounds.
That was a great pass right
1st
there.
and 10 at the 13-yard line. So the Bruins on the roll right now.
They are that.
1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
Watch how he puts this one right in his hands. I mean, you had to throw this one almost perfect. Watch the coverage. He got it right there. Double coverage, and he put it right where he needed to be.
That's why he leads the district in passing.
Go along with that.
3 wide outs to the far side. Brown back to pass. Nice protection. Breaks down. He cuts loose to the near side, inside the 10, down to about the 8-yard line.
Well, that was a
gain of about 5 on the play.
That was a good slippery job by Frank Brown in staying out of trouble there and picking up some yardage.
Down to about a minute to go here as the clock continues to run. 2nd down and 5 now for the Bruins inside the 10.
Now this is where you need a good little quick run to see what you can get. Watch Brown do some slippery here.
Go off here.
Watch this read. Look at him slip one.
Here we go.
Here he is.
Running around the near side. There is a flag down. Brown is in the end zone, but I believe there's going to be a hole back here at about the 18-yard line. We'll have to wait and see, and that's what it is. So another penalty will be costly big time for the Bethel Bruins this time. It's going to negate a nice run by Brown that ended up scoring. And it's going to bring it back here as they continue to let the clock run on that play.
Good job by the Bruins, though. You know, the pass. You put your receivers out there, it forces the defense to go back, and then Brown just takes the
We
run.
can see the hold here.
I don't know if we'll see the hold.
Right there.
Oh, yeah, saw it right on the backside.
Yep.
Man.
Called hold during the play, 10 yards from
On the spot.
enforcement spot. Replay the down.
Wow.
He ended up losing
Almost 20
yards on the play.
Not quite, but
the hold took place back in the backfield. So it's now second down and 26 for the Bruins. And they're going to come back again because the wide receiver on the inside on the far side of the field over there was actually walking forward when the
Prior
ball
to snap, dead ball foul, offense, false start.
That's their 10th penalty, I believe, on the night.
how many false starts?
8.
8 false starts, 70 total yards of penalties.
29 now for the.
And they've got, what, 2 first downs, 4 first downs, 4 first downs.
You need to reset the clock to 33, dead ball foul, 33 seconds, dead ball foul.
Yeah, our buddy down there taking care of the clock for us, Tim, having to reset it. So second down and a boatload here. Brown again gets hit as he lets it loose.
He's got him. Oh,
good defense.
Nice play by Pope.
Jumps up enough to bat the ball away as it's incomplete.
I think that saved a touchdown right there because Brown put that one on the money again.
You got 2 receivers in the end zone and you got 5 defenders.
What does that tell you?
They had it defended quite well.
Yeah. But he still put it right there where the receiver could get it. If it hadn't been for that effort by Pope, he would have got it, and that would have been 6 points.
Well, they've spread out the defense big time in the defensive backfield. Look at the way they're, I mean, they've got a couple of players that are 15, 20 yards off the ball. It's third down and 31 now for the Bruins. Brown being flushed out of the pocket is all the way back at midfield.
He's not going to get that one off. We got a flag back
Yeah, that's
here
going to
at
be
50.
an intentional grounding because not only did the ball not get back to the line of scrimmage, there was no receivers out there. So the flag was thrown, and it's all the way back at the 48. Yep.
It looks like it's going to be intentional grounding. Don't
also
see that
lost
very much.
Down too.
You just don't see that very much at all.
Intentional grounding on the offense. We lost a down penalty, 4th down.
Wow. Tell you what.
The question is where they're going to mark it at. So they pushed it back 5 yards, and that's what it is. So it's
well, you got to go for it.
4th down and 36. I believe they got more yards and penalties than they have in the in total yards. If not, it's pretty close. Brown back to pass again. There's a hold, but didn't get called this time. And that ball's almost intercepted by Pope. Incomplete as we are down to 10 seconds, and Kecoughtan will take over. 1st and 10 at their own 38.
Bob, how's it looking down there?
I tell you, fellas, it's unbelievable the time that Brown has been able to get the ball down the field, but they're shooting themselves in the foot with these penalties. It's just unbelievable.
And we keep saying that up here in the booth. We can't believe how many times they get a good drive going only to back it up. And Brown's throwing the ball real well.
Right, and he's throwing into the wind, and that's why he couldn't get it in the end zone on that last play. But, you know, you come down and you move the ball down the field, you score, and you have another penalty that wipes that off the board. So they've done nothing right so far. I tell you, I would not want to be in the Bruin locker room at halftime.
False start on offense.
It's one of the few penalties called.
10 seconds on the game clock, please.
Well, folks, we've got 7 seconds left
Timeout,
here in the
Bethel.
half.
Bethel calls timeout
Yeah, they want the ball back.
with 10 seconds to go.
Yep. Hey.
Actually, the clock hasn't been reset yet. It's still sitting at 7. But right now, 20-0. 7 seconds to go before halftime as the Kecoughtan Warriors, with the exception of the last 2 minutes, have dominated the first half. Look at that view.
Isn't that beautiful? Man, seems like you can just pick it out of the sky there. Kecoughtan has done a marvelous job on defense tonight, and as Bob alluded to earlier, their line
Reset
has
the game
really
clock to 10 seconds, please.
has really handled Bethel's line tonight. And, you know, we all sit up here and joke about the fact that games are won in or out of that trench there, but you can see tonight how big a difference it's made. Bethel just can't get its passing game going tonight, and the Kecoughtan defense won't allow it. So when you can handle one line,
well, I think the
you're gonna have
defensive
an
line
advantage.
for Kecoughtan has done an outstanding job
Exactly.
pressuring Brown.
And the offensive line has done a stupendous job in opening holes for that running game.
Run up the middle by Kecoughtan number 3 on the play, Keith Hill. That would run the clock out as we've reached halftime here at I call this a mild shocker as the Kecoughtan Warriors lead the Bethel Bruins by a score of 20-0.
Here at Darling Stadium on October the 14th, 2011, a beautiful evening, a great night, wonderful weather for football, and what is going to be and probably will be a very important game for one of these teams tonight. And right now, it's the Kecoughtan Warriors.
This is going to help Kecoughtan a lot in the race for a playoff spot in the Eastern region. It won't knock Bethel out of it by no means. They still have a better record than Kecoughtan does, but it's going to be real interesting to watch how this pans out, especially in the second half, and what kind of adjustments Bethel can make to try to get themselves back in the game again.
Well, you and I have talked about it off air here. They're going to have to make a few changes, we know, and I know one they're not going to make because in the second half they're going to be going with the wind. So we shouldn't look for any short passes in. And
I personally think the key to this game so far is the fact that the Kecoughtan defensive backs have been able. Bethel has done nothing but throw. They've thrown. Very rare have they run, and they haven't been successful at what little bit of running they've done so far. And unless they can come together and have some kind of a running game, they're not going to be able to sustain anything unless they're lucky enough to make those long passes continually. And right now, the Kecoughtan defense is just laying back and waiting for the passing.
Well, that's the only way Bethel's been able to get it down the field. So Kecoughtan is just going to have to play those long passes and take it from there.
All right, so here at halftime, 20-0 Kecoughtan as they lead the Bethel Bruins, and we'll send it back to the studios, and we will be back shortly for second half action here at Darling Stadium. And welcome back here to Darling Stadium. Mike Hauser along with Paul Rowe. And I tell you what, Paul, a little shocker here in the first half as the Kecoughtan Warriors leading this one 20-0. Interesting first half as the defensive and offensive lines for Kecoughtan have pretty much dominated with the exception of basically the last 3 minutes of the second quarter when Bethel was able to actually move the ball with the deep passes.
Yeah, but I think that was more of a just prevent anything from happening and give them some
inside stuff. But they turned around and shot themselves in the foot almost entirely in the first half. And you'll see that when we show the stats. Let's show some of the replays of the first half tonight.
Here we see the pitch to Pope where he makes the on that good block by Hill on the right-hand side, which opens a big hole for him, and then Pope just used his speed to blow that one. That was the first score, Mike, I believe, of the game. Here comes the next touchdown. Pope on the out. This is the same one. That's the same one. That's the same one. Same play. Same play.
Unfortunately, they only get 7 points each time they do that. Right.
Here comes the punt return by Adrian Pope.
It's been Pope and more Pope tonight.
Pope and more Pope. And he makes that little fake inside, draws the Bethel Bruins to the middle, and then just takes the outside. And again, uses the speed that he have to get into the end zone. And at this point, Bethel was back on its heels. And Frank Brown trying for all he can to get them back in the game. Watch this nice catch by Willie Davis down, and you said that was about a what? 40,
that was a 50-yard
pass.
Yeah, it was a late. Willie Davis laid out nicely for that one. And this was the next pass that got the ball down deep.
Nice little catch here by Willie Davis, who made some fantastic receptions tonight in this game. Unfortunately, Bethel just hasn't been able to get the ball into the end zone.
Yeah, let's look a little bit at the stats here for the first half. And first downs, look at your passing yardage. Kecoughtan, the passing yards, Kecoughtan only had 6. Bethel had 137, and about 131 of them were in the last probably 4 minutes of the second quarter, because they only had 6-yard passing through a quarter and a half.
Yeah, which makes this statistic right here, Mike, and I'm pointing to the total yardage of 139 and 76, look a little bit closer than it really should have been.
That's right, because Bethel got down with a couple minutes left to go in the second quarter, all the way down to about the 7 or 8 yard line, and then proceeded to shoot themselves in the foot and ended up with a 4th and 36.
And why did that happen?
11 penalties for 75 yards will destroy anybody's offense tonight. And that's more than normal game stat, and that's a first half stat for Bethel. That hurt. Luckily, there haven't been any turnovers by either team. Look at the time of possession, and again, the Kecoughtan Warriors have been able to keep Bethel off the field offensively, and that's
the telltale statistic right there.
And here's your first half runners right now for Bethel. You want to? For Kecoughtan.
For Kecoughtan, and they've been running that ball all day long. Cannon with 6 carries, 53 yards. Hill with 3 carries and 40 yards. And Pope, 14 carries, 77 yards. He's been the workhorse. Add to that punt return for the touchdown. And right now, I tell you what, he's the player of the game right now.
No doubt about that. First downs in the game so far, Kecoughtan has 7. They've kind of spread that out throughout the whole first half. And Bethel, even though they have 4 first downs in the first half,
They all came
in the last 5 minutes of the second quarter.
Right.
Because the first quarter and a half, they didn't do anything. They ended up rushing the ball 8 times, and they only had 2 yards. And a lot of that is indicative to how many sacks that Brown was called on. And I don't know how many sacks that Kecoughtan had, but those go against the rushing yardage. So if you gain 5 yards and sack 7 yards, you're going to end up with a -2 yards in the rushing column for the stats for the game. 5 of 17 throwing, no interceptions for the Bruins. 1 of 3 with no interceptions for Kecoughtan as far as passing is concerned.
But that's also how many tips by the Kecoughtan defense they had right there in the last part, too. It was about 3 of them.
Well, you could
2 of them should have been intercepted.
You could probably count on a hand how many passes should have been caught, too, that were literally dropped
by the Bruins,
the Bruin receivers. So as we get ready to get started here to open the second half of play, I believe the Kecoughtan Warriors will be kicking off to Bethel to start it off, and Bethel will have the ball as they will defend the east end zone to start the third quarter play. And if you'd like, you could give us our sponsors for the second half
tonight.
All right.
For the second half of tonight's game, this game is sponsored by the Grey Goose Restaurant, located on West Queensway in Hampton. Breakfast menu items include their famous toasted buttermilk biscuits, and for lunch, try their new smoked turkey panini. Follow the Grey Goose on Facebook. It's also sponsored by Rico's Pizza, located at 55 West Mercury Boulevard in the Langley Square Shopping Center. Stop in after the game and pick up a pizza or one of their many menu items. And by Coliseum Central, located right in the heart of Hampton Roads between Armistead Avenue and Interstate 64. You can take care of all your shopping, dining, entertainment, medical, and business needs right here at Coliseum Central. By Made Men Management. Hampton athletes use Made Men Management because it's the best sports agency in the best area for sports. Former football player Justin Russell is a certified sports agent. giving you a full-service sports management experience. Also by Tidewater Team Sports, located on Cannon Boulevard in the Oyster Point section of Newport News. Tidewater Team Sports is your one-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidery, uniforms, and apparel. Call 594-0411. Talk to David Chubb or Terry McNamara.
Let's talk a little. You got something else?
I got something else
Okay.
here. I'm sorry. We got for the second half of this game tonight, Eric Thompson, Realtor, is sponsoring it. Call Eric to buy or sell a home or property at 685-3127. That's Eric Thompson, Realtor. All right, Mike, there we go. Those are our corporate sponsors for tonight's second half, and we appreciate each and every one of them.
We want to talk a little bit about the drive stats for tonight's game, first half so far. Kecoughtan, their first scoring was a 32-yard touchdown run by Adrian Pope. It was an 8-play, 4-minute and 18-second drive. It went for a total of 63 yards. I believe we have Bob down on the sidelines. What you got, Bob?
Hey, fellas, the wind has really dropped. It's not half as bad as it was when we first started. So we're going to see the wind not play as much in the kicking and the passing game. And just one point of note, Eric Thompson is going to be my guest on Sports Time come Monday. Just to let you know, one of the corporate sponsors.
Well, that sounds like a winner.
I think it's really nice of Eric to take the time to come in and be on the sports show. It just shows how he supports athletics in Hampton and in the high schools. We appreciate it very much.
Willie Davis on the return for the Bethel Bruins. He's down at the 16-yard line. As Bethel will take over 1st and 10 here to start the third quarter of play.
And Bethel needs a good drive right here. Even if they don't score, they need to get that ball down the other end. We'll see how they can start out this second half.
Brown on a keeper, as he will pick up about 3, maybe 4 yards on a play. Looks like they're going to mark it at the 19. Give them 4 on a play. Second down and 6 for the Bruins. The Kecoughtan second scoring drive was a field goal of 25 yards from Kirby. They had the ball for 7 plays, 3 minutes and 41 seconds before the field goal. I'll give you the other 2 as soon as we get through with this play. Second down and 6 now for Bethel. 3 wide outs to the far side. There's a pass out there. Pass was actually short. And it looks like it's going to be no gain on the play, as the tackle was made pretty much at the same spot where the ball was caught. They're going to actually lose about 4 yards on the play. That's going to bring up third down and 10 for
and that kind of was not the kind of short pass I was thinking about either.
Well, the ball was thrown short to him to begin with. He had to kind of go down to get the ball. He didn't have much of a shot of making a good play on that one. The ball, that's the type of pass the ball's got to be right to him.
Yes, and it's also the type of ball where you got to make sure that you're getting it forward and not behind him.
Brown will drop back. He's flush. He's hammered as he lets go of the ball. The ball was intended, I believe, for Willie Davis, incomplete. And that will bring up 4th down and long as the Kecoughtan Warrior defense opens up the second half just like they did in the first half. The third scoring drive for Kecoughtan was a 52-yard punt return by Adrian Pope at the 9:36 mark of the second quarter. The extra point was good. It made it 17-0. And then shy of the halftime, a 38-yard field goal by Robert Kirby. 6:56 to go in the second quarter, and that made it 20-0. That's where we stand currently. There's the punt by Brown. End over end. It lands at the 42-yard line and gets a short bounce for the Bruins out to about the 46, and Kecoughtan will take over good field position to start their first drive.
Yep, and they're going to go right back to the ground, as you well know, and they're going to try and punch that ball in once again. Remember, they scored first. Of course, they were the only ones to score in the first half. We'll see how quickly they can get it on the board if they do.
The second, the third,
and they scored all of them.
That's it.
Bethel's just going to have to get something going here.
You know, we saw something tonight in the first half that we don't really see a whole lot of in the Peninsula District.
Well, you see him every now and then.
Yeah, but 2 of them?
2 of them. Well, Robert
in the
Kirby's
first
a good
half.
kid. He's got a good foot.
Well, yeah. I mean, usually the coaches say, "Nah, we're not going to kick a field goal. We'll just go for it." But this young man can put the ball with some distance, and he's been true both times.
Ooh.
Oh, and the ball is fumbled.
There's a first.
Bad pitch to Adrian Pope, and the Bethel Bruins will recover at their own 47-yard line. So the first turnover of the game, as the Bethel Bruins will come out of this with good field position.
And that's something we haven't seen too much tonight as we watch the replay, is a pitch. They've just usually been handing it off, but that's a pitch back.
Actually, it looked like it hit him right in the hands.
It did. So let's see if Bethel can turn this one into their advantage.
First and 10 Bethel now at their own 47-yard line. 2 wide outs either side of the ball. One running back standing next to Brown. That is number 22, Chris Davis.
Kecoughtan with a 4-man rush. Everybody else into coverage.
Chris Davis on the handoff around the right end.
Oh.
Nice defensive play that time by the Warriors' number 3, Keith Hill. Nice little shoestring tackle after he gains about 4 on the play.
I thought Davis was going to turn the corner on that one. He was scampering around that side, and I thought, well, finally Bethel's going to get a run here with some big yardage. Watch this.
Well, 4 yards is the largest run I think they've had in the first game of the game.
Look at this. Davis just hits that side and just boom. But I'll tell you what, is it Keith Hill?
Keith Hill did a good job that time.
Really got up there quick to make the trip.
3 wide outs now, split to the near side. Hand off again up the middle this time to number 22. Chris Davis. He's going to pick up maybe 2 yards on the play. Let's see where they mark it.
Now, see, this is something I like here. Bethel has gone to the ground. They've gotten some yardage. Now it's 3rd down. You got a little 4 or 5 yard pass.
And how about a screen?
Yeah.
And what do you know? How about a screen instead of a 50-yard pass?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's see what happens. The coaches got together a little bit, and let's see if they've made some changes. 3 wide outs to the near side. Brown back to pass. There's a short pass.
Intercepted.
It was thrown right into the hand of the Kecoughtan Warrior player number 32 on that play. And that is Kecoughtan Lynch. And good defense that time. So now each team with a turnover here in the 3rd quarter.
That turnover will give Kecoughtan the ball first.
Isn't that the way it goes? You play a perfect first quarter with our first half with no turnovers. You start the second half and both of you, boom, boom. Look at this. Brown goes back. He's looking for the short underneath pass, and he throws it low, but he throws it right into the arms of the Warriors.
He completed the pass, though.
Well, I'm not sure that would make him happy.
First and 10, Kecoughtan at just outside their own 40-yard line. We'll mark it at the 41.
Oh, look at Bethel's defense packed in there. Look at this. Look at this.
To Adrian Pope around the right side for about 13 yards, and nice play. There's a flag down, sitting right at the 50-yard line. Let's see what that call is going to be.
I think we might have some sort of a hold. I might be wrong.
Yep. Well, it's a spot foul, so the ball will be 10 yards from the 50. And that'll bring it back. That'll end up being a 1st down and 11. So they really didn't lose a lot other than the 1st down.
Holding during the run. Replay 1st down.
He's probably calling, number 10 right there. But end up losing 10 yards on the penalty, but it's still because of the way the rules are in DHSL and the National Federation. It's still 1st down, but it's 11.
Like Pope is at quarterback now, or
it's going to cost Kecoughtan 5 because the left side of the line jumped. They only had 2 penalties in the first half of 15 yards, and they've already
Fire
got 2
snap,
here.
dead ball, false start, offense.
1st and 16 now.
if we get a chance, Bob down on the sideline, maybe he can find out what's going on. It appears that Adrian Pope has gone into a tailback quarterback situation. Wait a minute, here comes the answer to my question here. Is the quarterback is coming back in.
doing was no more than getting the ball to Pope without going through the quarterback. He was running what was called a wildcat.
Right. So that's what that was. It wasn't any indication of Carrera getting hurt or anything.
Carrera back in,
No.
hands the ball off to Pope up the middle. Picks up about 3 to about the 38. Second down and about 13 on the play.
Carrera, the freshman for the Warriors, after each play comes to the sideline to get his next call. This young man learning on the job.
Already. Second down, 13 now. Carrera hands the ball off up the middle to Pope. He's spun over, and it looks like he's going to get maybe a yard on the play, and that's about it.
Yeah, Michael Artis,
Third down.
number 26, came roaring in there and landed a nice tackle on him.
Notice all the pink that a lot of the Kecoughtan players are wearing tonight, and also the 4 little pink signs sitting at the 25-yard lines. Breast Awareness Month, as the Darling Stadium staff and our teams have.
The pink is
Breast
for
cancer
cancer,
awareness.
of course, and we want everyone to be aware of the cancer situation and hopefully donate some money to cancer research, and let's get rid of that disease that is devastating to many, many, many.
And this time the Bethel Bruin defense did a good job bottling up Pope, as he's going to lose about a yard.
They did not do a good job. They did an excellent job on this series right here, as they just manhandled the Kecoughtan offensive line on this.
That'll make it 4th down and about 12 on the play. Make it 4th and 13.
Watch him get up in there and get him real quick. Boom. That's gang tackle in there. What a great camera crew we have getting down there on the field.
Pope back to punt the ball away now for the Kecoughtan Warriors.
You ever wonder if any of our cameramen are going to get hurt as close as they get to the play like that?
Let's hope not. Our Bethel head coach had that issue a couple times. Ball kicked straight up. I believe it was last year. Ball's down by the Bruins at the 28-yard line, where the Bruins will take over 1st and 10 at the 28.
5:31 left here in the third quarter. It's October the 14th, 2011. You're watching LSC on Cox Channel 48, Verizon Fios Channel 23. I'm Paul Rowe, along with Mike Hauser up here in the booth. We got the wonderful, the marvelous Bob Hintz down on the field.
Marvelous.
Getting a bird's eye, not a bird's eye. We got the bird's eye view. He's got the field view. Ooh,
Now,
nice.
see, that is the pass
That's what we've been looking
about.
for.
And
There it
there
is.
is
No, that's just a marker.
I believe he fumbled it. He did. The ball was
my
knocked out of his
gosh.
hands, and it was recovered by the Kecoughtan Warriors. But that was the type of pass
missed that.
we were looking
Exactly.
for.
Watch this,
Watch
ladies
his
and gentlemen.
slant.
This is what you got to get. Boom, right there. He came from the left side.
There goes the ball.
Beautiful camera shot right there. And he jumps right over it. He goes, oh my gosh, that was a loose ball.
I think I should have made a play for that one.
Man.
Too late. Kecoughtan takes over 1st and 10 at the 40, let's call it the 43.
Hey, this is defense
That's
right here. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
2 turnovers now for Bethel in the third quarter.
Kecoughtan coming up there. Pope now with 18 carries and 80 yards on the game. He's getting closer and closer to 100.
Right to Cannon on the carry. And nothing much there, as Bethel's defense was able to get outside and make the stop. No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10.
Bethel has tightened up their inside defense, and their line is stopping the run up the middle, forcing Kecoughtan to go outside, of course, which is where Kecoughtan wants to go anyway after they pound the middle. But now Bethel is beginning to spread out, and their backers are getting some good lateral movement to get to the edges and keep the runners inside.
2nd down and 10. We're at the 4:45 mark here of the third quarter. Still Kecoughtan 20 and Bethel nothing.
Look how spread out they are, covering the edges on the left-hand side, and look at the backside there.
And off right up the middle to the fullback. And let's see if this is number 3 on the carry. I could not see. That's who it is. Number 3 on the carry, Keith Hill. He's going to pick up about 3 on the play. Third down and 7 now for Kecoughtan at the just inside the 40-yard line.
On that last play, number 20 for the Bethel Bruins, Nicholas Clark, doing a good job from his safety position. Kind of edged up on the play, and as the edges were covered on the outside, he blasted up the middle when he saw the play coming up there and was able to hit the runner and keep him.
And a shotgun now. And this time on a keeper, cuts it back inside.
Ooh, got a holding over here.
Flag.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Flag is down. Looks like he picked up enough for the first down, but it's going to go against Kecoughtan Warriors.
Yeah, that was too obvious of a hold there.
Woodley not happy on the call.
Watch, you'll be able to see this at the bottom of the screen here. This is not something that was hidden very well. Just he grabbed him and pulled him.
10-yard penalty from the spot. Move the ball back to inside the 48-yard line.
10 yards from the penalty. Replace our down.
10 yards from the spot of the
now
foul.
he knows how we feel sometimes up here trying to come up with the words. Well, things kind of swinging here toward Bethel's way in this third quarter here at Darling Stadium.
Third down and 19 now for Kecoughtan.
Quick snap there to Cannon.
Sweeping around the far side, nothing going there.
They're shutting down those corners. They're shutting down the edges.
Big difference in rushing in the second half for Kecoughtan compared to the first half right now.
Yeah, well, Kecoughtan right now with 6 rushes for 6 yards, and that's with 3 minutes to go.
For 6 yards. There's no gain on that one.
Yeah.
3:12 to go here in the third quarter. Still out in front 20-0, but it's going to be 4th down and a bunch.
If and when Bethel gets the ball on offense, they're going to have to take advantage of the fact their defense has really begun to play here in the second half. I don't believe so.
Tim, reset the clock to 3 minutes, 20 seconds. 3 minutes, 20 seconds.
Tim, reset the clock.
For 3 minutes, 20 seconds.
And that is done.
I love
As
it.
Kecoughtan is now in the punt formation. The rush is on. Got a good punt off, and there he's taking it at the 17-yard line. And nothing going there. He's going to pick up about 4 yards on the play. As number 5 on the play for Bethel, Willie Davis, will pick up minimal yardage. Good special teams. And again, there's another flag on the field.
It's that one too.
Now that was all the way over there in the middle of the field too. See, the flag went down about 20 yards upfield from where the ball was caught. Illegal use of the hands again against Bethel. Another penalty for the Bruins that's going to push them back even further.
Penalty-filled third
Blocking the back
quarter.
on the return. Penalty be 10 yards from the end of the run. First down.
The ball will be moved all the way back to the 11-yard line where Bethel will have a long way to go here. 1st and 10. 3:09 to go in the third quarter. It is still Kecoughtan 20 and Bethel nothing. Bethel has 12 penalties for 85 yards.
That's almost a touchdown.
Round pass, back to throw, deep, wide open. And that one's going to go for 7, guys.
6.
All right, 6. As the defender basically fell down, it was a pass that should have been 89 yards to Rashid Proctor. And the ball was put right on the money. And I tell you, that's something Bethel's been looking for in this entire game.
Rashawn Proctor. Rashawn Proctor. Rashawn Proctor, not Rasheed. Rashawn.
Watch this replay.
So here we go. Bethel finally taking advantage of a break. Look at where Brown is. He is on the 2-yard line when he releases this pass, and it's caught at the 46-yard line of Kecoughtan and waltzed into the end zone.
The extra point is up, and it is good. So with 2:57 to go here in the third, Bethel finally on the board, trails 20-7. That was an 89-yard touchdown pass.
And how quickly did he get that pass completed and into the end zone? 18 seconds. So when we say this game is not over yet, we're not trying to pull your leg, folks. It only takes Frank Brown about 20 seconds to get down the field and into the end zone with those passes. And with the receivers he's got, this game can be close real quick.
That was pretty.
Yes, it was.
A one-play drive, by the way.
It was. He went back into the end zone, and then he took his steps forward, got his balance.
It took the guy 18 seconds to go 89 yards.
Well, he had to wait for the ball and the rush and everything
did?
else. Yeah, he was down there a long time before.
What we got for Brown passing?
All right, now we're getting there. 8 for 22, 234 yards, 1 interception, 1 touchdown. 234 yards passing now for Brown on only 8 passes. Again, they're not doing too many short ones. Bethel played that just like they wanted to. Get that ball up in the air and hit the receiver as soon as he touches it.
Well, it's kind of funny sitting here looking at Scott Woodley trying to tell number 11 who took that ball, Terrence Riggs, put your hand up, boy. Call it. They call it fair catch. Boom, because that right there is exactly what Bethel wanted to happen. We need to see that one more time. Watch where he was actually hit and see where they actually put the ball down. The ball's sitting at the 30-yard line.
And we got some people saying he was hit well ahead of that. That they took away some yards.
See where he caught it. Oh, yeah, he should have had the ball up near the 34-yard line.
Oh, my gracious, yes.
And they actually moved it back to the 30. Good eyes over there.
Yeah.
Here's a handoff right up the middle. This time not a lot. And there is that looks like the fumble. I believe the handoff was to Cannon. He may have lost the ball. Anytime you see those little bags go flying in there, usually the ball's on the ground.
Yeah, but not this time.
They was able to get the ball back, and no gain on the play. 2nd down and 10. Everybody was throwing the bean bags down.
Bob, are you getting a sense that the Warrior offensive line is getting a little tired, or is this Bethel defense really bringing it now?
Well, it's a combination of things, but one of the things is anytime you score, that's going to make your defense come alive a little bit. But the Bruins have 2 opponents now. They've got the Warriors and they got the clock.
Right.
They seem to be doing a good job against the Warriors right now.
Cannon again on the carry, only a yard this time. So that brings up 3rd down and 9.
Well, this is the type of thing I thought I would see from the Bruins. Much better defense than they had the first half.
Exactly.
And all it takes is one time to make these guys say, hey, we can play this game and we can stop them.
And the way Brown is throwing the ball right now, like I said, it doesn't take long for them to get back on the board.
Well, you kind of see why this young man Brown is the leading passer in the district. Timeout's called by the officials here.
Like an equipment problem, maybe.
Make a change and bring number 22, Will Wright, into the game to take the player's place. 3rd down long.
Big play for the Warriors right here.
Pope up the middle. Gain of about 4 to the 35, nothing there. And that'll bring up a 4th down and about 6. Ball is short of the 35, down at the 34. The gain only about 4 yards on the play. 4th down now, and Kecoughtan again is going to have to punt the ball away, and Bethel's defense really has stiffened up here in the third quarter play.
Yes, they have, and not only that, this should give them excellent field position on this punt.
Pope now into punt. Davis back at the 32-yard line. Looks like Kecoughtan doesn't have enough players on the field, and they're going to have to call timeout.
Kecoughtan.
And that's a waste of timeout right there before the fourth quarter even got here.
10 players out there. Or at least they had 10 coming this way. There we see the Kecoughtan High School band here at Darling Stadium on October the 14th, 2011. They've kind of calmed down a little bit right now as they're watching their Warriors misfire a little bit here. Watch here it is. Watch this touchdown throw by Frank Brown. Folks, he's standing 2 yards from the end zone there when he hits the receiver.
Threw the ball 55 yards in the air.
And Proctor just made a nice catch, took it right away from the defender and looked over his shoulder and said, I'm going in. And he did.
I guess if the defensive player is laying on his belly, you're running on your own, you know what I mean?
Taking your time.
As we resume play, it'll be 4th down and about 6 for the Warriors.
Davis now will drop back to about his 30 as Adrian Prope will be dropping back to punt the ball away. Like the Bruins are going to rush 10 here.
Good return. It's
set up the return. Davis at the 31-yard line. Brings it all the way out to the 41-yard line. A gain of 10 on the return as Bethel back in business again here before the end of the third quarter of play, and they trail 20-7.
Here's that punt.
Take it at the 31.
And right up the middle, just gets tripped up. Good camera shots. On the cameras tonight, of course, Ron Baton, Susan Bowers, Gene Wheeler, and Steve Fryer.
Let's see what the Bruins muster here on this drive. Brown back to throw the ball deep again. It was short thrown as it was intended, I believe, for number 6 on the play, and that was no, that was Frank Brown. Who was that? I can't see the number. It was Keith Hill.
Looked like Davis. It almost looked like Brown's hand was hit. I know it wasn't because the pass went where it was supposed to go, but it looked almost like his arm was hit.
I believe it was intended for number 5, Willie Davis. It was just thrown short, but that's who it was intended for.
Yep.
2nd down and 10.
Speaking of short, let's see if they go with one here. And oh my
Down he
gracious.
goes as the Kecoughtan's number 51 on the play, James Hollis, sacks Brown all the way back to about the 33-yard line.
That's a big loss. And James Hollis, folks, has been playing a super game this evening. He has just been dominant there.
Well, we've come to the end of the third quarter of play here as the Bruins were able to score in the third quarter, but they still trail Kecoughtan at the end of 3, 20-7.
And on that last replay, you could see Hollis just had an open road right through the quarterback, and he smacked him.
Hey, fellas.
Yes.
Hey, as you watch this game, Bethel has solved the running of the Warriors. Now, with the Warriors to win this ball game, as their defense is going to step up. I talked to you earlier about number 51, Hollis, how well he's been playing, and you just saw he did on that sack. That's what they're going to win this game for the Warriors, is not their offense, but their defense. If their defense can stop and harass Brown, not let him get a good shot, not let him step into his throw, then he's not going to be as accurate.
It's 3rd down and about 18 now. They get 3rd down and 19 as the ball is sitting at the 33-yard line.
Ladies and gentlemen, some of our sponsors for tonight's game. Kaufman and Knowles, with offices in Hampton on Cunningham Drive across from Peninsula Town Center, and in Newport News at City Center. Kaufman and Knowles, not Knowles, Kaufman and Knowles. And by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, located at 2552 North Armstead Avenue. The funeral director, Mr. Vernon Kruger. And we'll have some more of our sponsors a little later in this quarter.
Brown back to pass.
He's got him.
Wide open, and it just overthrown as it was intended for Gerard Sharp. Incomplete pass.
Brown had to put that in between where there were 3 defenders in a triangle. As you watch the replay here.
Well, he was open.
Looked like Kecoughtan was in a zone defense back there, and he just dropped that in.
Good hit right there, too, after the incomplete pass. That would have jarred it loose. So Brown's back to punt the ball. Adrian Pope will call for a fair catch.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. Did he touch the ball?
He's saying he did not. The referees aren't saying anything at all. They're pointing in Kecoughtan's direction.
Now the official is pointing down there towards Kecoughtan. So
let's see.
He's calling for a fair catch. He was basically interfered with by 20.
Yeah, but he doesn't look, I couldn't tell.
And neither one of those 2 officials are marking it as
That's
being
correct.
touched. So Kecoughtan will have the ball first and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And Pope is lucky right there. What you got there?
Just an update on Brown. He was 8 for 22 for 234 yards. Now he's 8 for 24. All right. No, did not touch it. Did not touch it. Did not touch it. Great camera shots by the crew at LSC. The ball definitely not even close to touching. So good call by the referees. 2 of them right there.
Rare hands off to Pope up the middle, gets the ball to the 25-yard line, and that's it. No gain. Second down and 10. And one of the things Bob talked about a little while ago was the fact that the Bethel defense has figured out the running scheme of Kecoughtan right now, and they're getting absolutely nothing on the ground for the majority of the second half here.
Well,
big difference between the first and the second half.
One thing that's going well for Kecoughtan right now is time.
Clock continuing to run.
Time.
There's a 2-touchdown lead right now, and Bethel can't afford for Kecoughtan to get much here, and that defensively they're doing a good job. Pope again will pick up a couple of yards as he will come out and take a break now as Trenton Cannon will come in on 3rd down and 8.
What did he gain on that carry right there? 2 yards. 13 yards in the second half for the Warriors total. With those 2, including those 2 yards. That's how much the Bethel defense has stepped up right now.
Well, they had 170 yards rushing in the first half, and they've only had how many? 11 yards here in the first half.
13 now.
13 yards here in the second half. So Bethel's defense has done well, but Kecoughtan's not throwing the ball up that would allow them to be able to open up the running game either. Here's a pass play that was to a wide open receiver out at the 40, and the ball was overthrown.
That was the right call. They had him in the right place. The ball just wasn't there.
Young ladies enjoying the game here.
See what kind of pressure is on the Warriors here as Carrera goes back. He gets hit right from the front as he releases the ball.
It was intended for Corbin Baxter, overthrown.
Carrera doesn't throw the ball very much. He's only 1 for 4 with 6 yards in tonight's game. Kecoughtan, of course, a running team, but right now they're going to be punting.
Davis breaks free, picks up maybe 4 or 5 on the play, on the return.
Once again, good field position for the Bethel Bruins with 9:49 left in the game.
Bethel will have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 40, call it the 47. Bethel needs to score right here, though. They need to do something on this drive.
They've got to get it within one touchdown with 5-6 minutes to go in the game.
1st and 10. 3 wide outs to the far side, single wide out to the near side. Again, the single setback, Chris Davis.
And look at Kecoughtan. They've gone to a 3-man front, and everybody else is back. They know Brown is going to throw.
The pass down the sideline. It looks like it was actually
caught out of bounds.
Yeah, caught out of bounds, incomplete, but there is a flag on the play. And this was the flag was thrown well before the ball got there.
Some sort of interference. Holding.
Well, if it's offensive, it'll be a devastating penalty. And it looks like
it is offense.
Might have been offensive interference. We may have pushed off to try to get open. Oh. Now he's
holding on the defense, 10 yards from the previous spot, 1st down.
Oh, they called it actually a hold on Kecoughtan.
Hold down here.
Oh, the hold was on Kecoughtan over there. It was an incomplete pass. So the penalty was from the original line of scrimmage on an incomplete pass. So there, because the ball was called out of bounds, it was incomplete. 1st and 10 now, Bethel.
Good break for the Bruins right here.
At the Kecoughtan 43-yard line.
Warriors again going with a 3-man front.
Swing pass over to the far side over there, and that was an incomplete pass as it was overthrown, intended for Willie Davis. 2nd down and 10 as that incomplete pass stops the clock as we're down to 9:38 to go.
I like that pass, though. Yep. I like that pass. In the first half, Kecoughtan had 2 penalties for 15 yards. In the second half, they've got 4 for 29. Little bit of a difference. Twice as many penalties, twice as many yards against them in the second half.
And
here's that little
a
pass
whole lot
to the
less
side.
yardage.
Look at that. If he'd have just hit that pass. Oh, nice draw
plays to number 22.
Oh, he loses the ball. I think Bethel's got it. Good recovery, I believe, by Bethel, but who knows when the pile comes out. But it looked like one of the players from Bethel came in there and got the ball.
And the Bruins got the ball back.
That's what I thought. Nice call. Great call right here. Good opening. There's where he loses. Now watch this blur right there. See that yellow blur come in?
Yellow blur.
Yeah.
1st and 10 down at the 28-yard line now for the Bruins on a drive.
Bruins taking advantage of that 3-man front that the Warriors have in there to do a little bit of running. There's an open man over there.
Brown with a pass, and the ball should have been intercepted as it was off the fingertips of number 7, Rashawn Proctor. Could have very well have been intercepted by Kecoughtan, but it wasn't. Incomplete pass, 2nd down and 10. Ball sits at the 28-yard line. 9:10 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Got 3 receivers over there. Watch Willie Davis slide to the back there. I think if they'd have put him one-on-one with the
right through his hands
with the linebacker, he might have got a few yards.
Timeout, Bethel.
Bethel uses their 2nd timeout in the, well, I guess that's their 1st timeout because according to the scoreboard, the 1st timeout here in the second half was taken by Kecoughtan. So each team will have 2 remaining in the last 9 minutes and 10 seconds to go here in the 4th quarter.
In the 4th quarter, ladies and gentlemen, some more of our sponsors tonight. The Grey Goose Restaurant, located on West Queensway in Hampton. Breakfast menu items include their famous toasted buttermilk biscuits. And for lunch, you can try their new smoked turkey panini. Follow the Grey Goose Restaurant on Facebook, the restaurant that is also a bakery. It's also sponsored, excuse me, by Rico's Pizza, located at 55 West Mercury Boulevard in the Langley Square Shopping Center. Stop in after the game, pick up a pizza or one of their many menu items. Rico's Pizza is sure to hit the spot after you watch your hometown teams go head-to-head. and by Coliseum Central. Coliseum Central is located right in the heart of Hampton Roads between Armstead Avenue and Interstate 64. You can take care of all your shopping, dining, entertainment, medical, and business needs right here.
Brown back to pass, drops way back, sidearms it, and it's thrown right into the arms of the Kecoughtan Warriors. I believe is it number 9?
Number 9, it appears.
Number 9 on the interception is Richie Staten.
And just as I was saying, nobody was open, he throws the ball.
Throws the ball to the only open receiver, and unfortunately it was a defensive player.
It was a guy wearing a green jersey. Right about here, there's just nobody there. And he throws it right into the arms of Staten, who says, well, thank you, I'll take this. I don't like the way he's holding the ball, though. He's got it in one
believe
hand.
that is 3 turnovers now by the Bruins here in the game. They had 2 in the first half. 2 interceptions. So Kecoughtan takes over with 20. I'm sorry, you're right. There were no turnovers in the first half.
Look at the pursuit of that Bethel defense. You got good pursuit and you got containment on the outer edge. No way they're going to get around that corner.
All the turnovers in this game have been in the second half. Bethel had 2.
That's
Bethel
right.
had
That's
2
right.
in the third quarter, and Kecoughtan had 1. So that's the second interception thrown by Brown. Gain of about 2 on the play. Second down and 8 now for Kecoughtan. Ball sits right at their own 30-yard line. Clock continues to run as it's down to about 8:20 to go here in the fourth.
Here's the handoff to Cannon as he tries to get around the side. You can see the pursuit by 3 Bethel players, and then the outside is completely locked down.
The defense of Bethel has stepped up here in the third and the fourth quarters, and they've actually closed off the ends.
They really have. 56 yards for Cannon tonight on 11 carries, 86 for Pope, and 43 for Hill.
Now Kecoughtan will call a
Timeout.
timeout.
Kecoughtan.
Right now, Kecoughtan's not getting much yardage at all.
Right at 8 minutes to go left here. 20-7. At the point of the game now where if you're confused, better use a timeout.
Yep. Bob just relayed that it appeared there might be something confusing on the field with the offense, and that's why they called the timeout. Better get it straight right now than take a chance. You're deep in your own territory. Bethel's beginning to get some momentum behind them. You don't want to mess up.
Well, Bob, you're down there. Can you see what Coach Scott Woodliff was concerned about?
Yeah, fellas, the problem was the back was not in the right position, and he was late getting the play called. So because there was some confusion, there was going to be a delay of game. You don't want that to happen. So he called a timeout. Of course, he wasn't happy because he had to burn a timeout, but better do that than take a 5-yard penalty.
I agree.
That leaves Kecoughtan with 1 timeout here in the fourth quarter. Left to go. Here's the handoff to Pope. Not a lot there as he battles his way. He's going to end up losing about a yard. Defensively, Bethel really stepping up here in the third and fourth quarters.
Yeah, Kecoughtan trying to shake things up on that one, going against the grain as the runner cut back away from the blocking scheme, trying to slip through the defense, and Bethel had none of that. They just shut it down.
Kecoughtan had 176 total yards in the first half, and I bet you they don't have 20 yards in the second half.
I don't believe they did. Let's see. They got 3, 3, and 9. Yeah, they do. They get about 15 yards.
Under 20.
Rush. Yeah, it is under 20.
There was just a lot of penetration by the defensive line that time. There was nothing they could do. They were already in the backfield by the time the quarterback handed the ball off to the running back. So there was nowhere for Pope to go that last play.
A little quick handoff that time to the fullback. Keith Hill doesn't net much there either, and that's going to end up bringing a 4th down and 10 as Adrian Pope will have to come in and punt the ball away now for the Warriors. Davis will drop back to inside his 40. Good field position expected here by the Bethel Bruins as Davis will let it bounce and gets a Kecoughtan roll all the way inside the 35 to all the way down to the 34. So Bethel will take over. 6:20 remaining. They're running out of time right now, and their big concern right now, obviously, is the clock, as they're down by 13 with only 6:20 to go in the game.
And as we noticed in the last few series, Kecoughtan has gone into basically a prevent defense. They're sending 3 men and putting everybody else in the secondary and just keeping Bethel. And as I say that, they go back to the 4 set.
Down back to pass again. Oh, he was hammered, but he went to throw it. And I hope he's not hurt, because I tell you what, he was hit hard on that play.
And they're saying that he was going forward with it.
And I'll tell you what, the defense on that play had penetration and just hit him as he was getting ready to throw it.
Watch this.
That's
guess
number
who
51.
It is.
Boom,
Hollis.
right on the arm.
Hollis. I'm not sure he was going forward. It doesn't look forward, does it?
Let's see if we can look at this at a different angle.
That was that young man Bob talked about earlier, James Hollis, once again getting in there. Folks, I just got some new updates here in the second half. We've had 7 punts and 4 turnovers committed by both teams so far in the second half.
Second down and 10. A draw play.
A draw again.
Davis carries the ball to the 40, outside the 40, to about the 42-yard line. Looks like a gain of about 8. Bring up 3rd down and 2 as Bethel will continue in the hurry up.
This is where Bethel needs to get on the ground and get their 2 yards for the first down. You don't need to waste that big pass right here.
Davis again on a handoff right up the middle, and he gets the ball all the way out to the 49-yard line. That'll stop the clock until the chains are reset. 1st and 10, Bethel.
Tell you what, 2 runs netted them some big yardage.
Well, Kecoughtan has set their defense up for the pass, because that's all Bethel has done in the entire game.
The problem here is the run is working, but the clock
it's also
is
chewing
running.
up the clock. That's right.
He's going to have to put it back up.
Down back to pass, deep.
Got it.
Swings it over. Intercepted by Pope at the 28-yard line, as it was overthrown, and it was intended for number 5, Willie Davis. Most of Frank Brown's passes today have been high, overthrown.
Yes, they have.
I believe that's interception number 3 in this game. That is correct. So Kecoughtan's defense, what a job they've done tonight. Don't forget, we got to pick our player of the games too.
And coming into tonight, he had 5 total interceptions, and he's thrown 3 tonight. Brown
how much he had?
Yeah, he's had 234 passing yards for quite a while. 8 for 29, but now he's got 3 interceptions.
What was he, 8 for 22 at one time?
Yep.
Pope on the handoff, nothing there, as I don't think he actually got back to the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 2nd and 11. And with 5:15 to go here in the 4th quarter of play, Kecoughtan seems on their way to the win here. But again, we're going to have to pick our player of the games. And the defense for Kecoughtan, if the Kecoughtan ends up winning this game, it's the defense has done it for them. Oh, yeah, ain't no doubt about that. There's only one person you can go to for that, too, even though he's had those up. But, I mean, what else do you do?
Oh,
Hannon around the right end. He gets a break, and he's on the run. He's dragged down from behind, but there is a flag over there, and it looks like that one's coming back.
I think we got a hold over there.
Hannon had a nice little run. He kind of stutter steps as he's running.
Yes,
doesn't he? Watch
he does.
this.
Look at him on this.
I mean, the way he runs, the defense has got to figure out which way he's actually going to go, because he rocks back and forth when he's running.
I was looking for the hold.
During the run, we had a hold on the offense. 10 yards from point of infraction. 2nd down.
So that'll end up putting the ball back to where the line of scrimmage was originally anyhow.
Yep.
2nd down and 11. They'll replay the down basically over is all they're going to do. Kecoughtan's number 79 right there. I'm not real sure who he is. There's no name beside that number.
Oh, really?
Nope.
Huh. Let's see if I got anything on mine over here. 79. It's no name.
Sorry, young man. We can only go by what we have on our rosters, and unfortunately, there's no name there. Off to Cannon, off the left side. Good job of stutter stepping there and trying to use up a little time and try to find a hole too, you know.
He was looking for that hole, but more importantly, he was looking for that first down, and he got it.
So that's a gain of about 13 on the play.
And that's by getting around to the outside. Bethel looked like they were coming.
Excuse me a second, fellas.
Yeah.
Coach Woodleaf just a little upset because he went out of bounds. Stopped the clock. He wanted him to go down before he went out of bounds. But, you know, when you're a youngster, and you have to understand these high school kids.
Yeah.
They're not thinking that way a coach does because he's played ball all his life. So, you know.
There is Cannon again up the middle. He will pick up about 4 on the play out to about the 47-yard line. That'll bring up a second down and 6. The clock continues to run as we're down to 4:27 here. As the clock has stopped, I'm not sure why.
Kecoughtan riding Adrian Pope all game, 14, 15 carries for about 77, 80 yards. And now turning to Cannon as we get here into the late moments of the fourth quarter, letting him take some of the brunt of the running game here.
Pope is in there now, and there is a timeout called by the officials.
While we have a stoppage in play, we'd like to once again recognize all of the Kecoughtan graduates who have come back to celebrate homecoming with us tonight. We thank you for the continued support of your alma mater.
As timeout was called while the officials had some discussions there. We're at 4:04 to go. What you got there? That sounds like a winner to me.
A lot of talking going on there. What'd they say, Bob? What'd they say? We see you there.
Basically, when he blows the whistle, the clock's going to start. And I'm not sure why they stopped it. But now you see the clock is running.
And we're not even sure it ran on the last play.
It did not run on the last play. That's why they're letting it run now. I didn't understand why they did what they did, but you got to wake up Tim up there.
It'll be second down and 6 for the Warriors, with the ball resting at their own 47-yard line.
Okay, we've already gone with him. That's fine. Yeah, that's cool.
Prior to the snap, dead ball, false start, 5 yards.
He's been a major factor in keeping Bethel on track. So
this guy
about play of the game. Don't forget the Hollis kid.
We're discussing it right now, Bob.
I just want you to make sure he's in my book.
Here we go. Second down and 11. Uh-oh, the ball's on the ground. The Bruins get it, Bob.
Bethel says they did.
Here. Yep, Bethel got it. So another turnover by Kecoughtan. And Bethel will have the ball first and 10 at the 39-yard line. And
they need to score quick and then get an onside kick.
The game's not over with yet, but what do you think?
Yeah.
You okay with that?
Yeah, I'm great with that.
Okay, very good.
Great with that.
We got our player of the games picked out already, and we will let you know here shortly what they are. 3:22 to go as the Bruins have the ball back at the 39-yard line. Brown back to throw. He's hit as he lets it go,
Nobody
and
there.
looks like it's going to be intercepted in the end zone by a Pope. And that's at least 2 or 3. I mean, that he's intercepted.
Number 9, Jamie Houston, is intercepted by.
How many interceptions does Pope have now? 2 or 3? 2?
That will result in a touchdown. So the Warriors will take over 1st and 10.
Got 2
from the 20-yard
interceptions.
line
He's got a
with 3
knockdown
minutes and 15
in
seconds
the end
to go
zone.
here in the fourth quarter.
He's got a breakup at the 10. He's got 2 touchdowns. He's got a punt return.
Talk.
Man, why do we have to make these decisions like that? There you see Adrian Pope right there after the interception with 3 minutes and 15 seconds left in the game. Right after a turnover, Kecoughtan gets it right back, and they're out at the 20-yard line now with 3:15, hoping to hold on to this game.
Number 1, Trent Cannon on the carry. He is stopped in the backfield.
Timeout now is called by Bethel. And I tell you what we need to do.
Timeout. Timeout. Bethel.
Bethel calls timeout, and that leaves them with 1. 3:08 to go here in the fourth quarter of play as the Kecoughtan Warriors still are out in front 20-7. As Scott Woodleaf goes out there with his team and tries to discuss something that they can do to keep the clock and keep the ball in their possession. But I'll tell you what, Bob, this has been a wacky game here in the second half.
Well, the difference of this game in the second half is Bethel's defense would not let Kecoughtan offense do anything. Now, unlike the first half when Bethel came out here real flat. They were so flat the first half, it didn't look like the same Bethel team that I have seen this year so far. They deserve the win, Kecoughtan, because they have played hard defense this second half.
Too close. Got to be about 2 feet further back.
Well, I tell you what, it's been a pretty good game all the way around. Bethel's defense in the second half came out here strong and kept Kecoughtan from moving the ball. But unfortunately, for Bethel, Kecoughtan's defense pretty much did the same thing against Bethel with the exception of the one 89-yard pass that went in for a score. Here's Pope around the near side as he gets out to about the 22-yard line and goes down as he stays in bounds. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 8 now for Kecoughtan. Timeout again is called by Bethel, I believe. And that will be their final timeout of the game.
Timeout. Bethel.
Ladies and gentlemen, as the game here tonight winds down at Darling Stadium on October the 14th, 2011, Mike Hauser and I would like to recognize and thank our crew out here tonight, Ron Baton and Susan Bowers, along with Gene Wheeler and Steve Fryer, who are on the cameras and given those wonderful shots all night long. The graphics and animator, Andy Foley, the slow motion and instant replay of the young Krista Campbell, who just did a great job with the new program we have for replays. There they are right there. Camera control operator Renee Camden, the engineer Greg Lesko, the director, the producer, the big man Scotty Bowers. And up here in the booth with us, Brent Musgrove and Frank Edgar with the stats. And on the field, the always knowledgeable and on the ball, Bob Hintz, who's giving us the great reads from down there. And up here, Paul Rowe and Mike Hauser just kind of watching a game and telling you what we see.
It's been a pretty good game, and I tell you what, we're down to 2:54 to go here. It's still 20-7, Kecoughtan, and a first down right here will pretty much end it as Bethel has run out of timeouts now. It is 3rd down and 8 for Kecoughtan. Let's see what they can do about trying to get a first down.
Got a flag.
There is a flag down
In the backfield, so that's going to be probably some sort of
like there's a motion penalty, an illegal shift penalty called against Kecoughtan. That'll stop the clock.
I love that replay.
Illegal shift.
Penalty.
Offense. Penalties declined.
That'll bring
Fourth down.
Fourth down and long.
Smart move.
And Bethel will set back and wait for a punt here. And on the penalty, the clock stops.
I don't know if I'd wait 2 minutes and 49 seconds. I might send them in there, try and get the block.
wind up the clock now. And
Speaking of clocks, if you ran out of time to see the full game tonight, remember you can watch it Saturday, October the 15th at 4:30. Tuesday, October the 18th at 6 a.m. and p.m. Thursday, October the 20th, 8:30 a.m. and p.m. And Monday, October the 24th, 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. And you can watch it on Cox Channel 48, Verizon Fios Channel 23. You can
Dead
even
ball,
watch it.
false start on offense. 5 yards, replay the down.
Oh. You can even watch it on the internet. Just go to the Hampton City Schools site, click on WHCS on the right-hand side, then click on the LSC, and you'll get a pop-up on the left side of your computer, and there you can watch the games. It's real simple.
Yep.
We're everywhere. We're everywhere.
Not just those two last ones either. There's a whole lot of defensive plays that were made by him. 4th down and 8 as the Kecoughtan will punt the ball, and they let the clock run down as close as they can to that 25 seconds. There's the kick. Davis takes it at the 48, cuts it back up the middle, and is down at the Kecoughtan around the 45-yard line. We'll have to wait and see where it's marked. Bethel will have the ball 1st and 10 with 2:05 to go here in the 4th quarter as they trail by 13 by a score of 20-7.
An interesting game, a good game, not what we figured and yet what we figured.
Well, you know, the first half it was 20-0, and we were all kind of shocked about how the play went, especially in regards to Bethel. But in the second half, Bethel's defense really stiffened.
Yeah, it's really been 2 games.
Yeah, but the offense hasn't been able to do what they needed to do to get back into the game either.
No, and you can credit.
Timeout, Kecoughtan.
You credit Kecoughtan's defense because they did a good job on that, and that's the last timeout by either team.
Yeah. Again, I go back to that fact that you and I talked before this game. We said that defense is going to have to keep Frank Brown off the field, and it did. Terrence Ricks, Samir Sargent, James Hollis, Devin Claiborne, Kayshawn Lynch, Eric Palmer, Richie Staten, Keith Hill. That's the line and the linebackers. And then you've got the cornerbacks, Adrian Pope, Corbin Baxter, and Will Wright. But give that line, give Rick, Sargent, Hollis, and Claiborne their due. They really put the pressure on. They really got through quickly. They busted up the gaps. They didn't give Brown a lot of time. But even more importantly, with that pressure going on, the secondary stayed with the receivers, did not allow them.
2 players were very key for Kecoughtan.
Oh.
And they
More than
were
2.
number 51. I'm talking about as far as the passing game against Bethel. Adrian Pope obviously had an outstanding game, but also the middle linebacker, number 51, Hollis, was all over the field.
He's actually the tackle, yeah. And don't forget Terry Ricks on the end. He was clamping everything down on that side.
Back to pass.
He wants it. He's got 2 there.
Trying to get it all one time. The player that was there was open, and it went right through his hands.
Yeah, that's what you call reverse double coverage. There were 2 receivers and 1 defender.
Like number 7 may have tipped the ball. Let's see it on the replay.
Let's watch this replay here. He's got 2 men down there going side by side. You put it up, hope one of them can get under it. That ball just gets away down there, and it's very possible that once again Kecoughtan's defense stepped up, and possibly, just possibly, number 7 for the Warriors, and that is Shyam Cole, may have got a hand on that.
2nd down and 10 as Brown goes back deep again to throw.
Doesn't have anybody
Throws
open.
one up short, and it's overthrown again as Brown got hammered as he was letting it go. And number 51, Mr. Hollis, was all over him.
Hey, what,
Third down.
That pressure by the Kecoughtan line has really forced Frank Brown into uncharacteristic throws tonight, as he's been high and long on a lot of them.
You notice that Kecoughtan's defense now has gone back to that 3-man front.
Yeah, they're prevent now.
8 defensive backs now.
And look at them.
And they're spread out because they're expecting the long pass.
There's another flag.
And that's a 5-yard penalty. That's at least
Dead ball.
9.
False start. Offense.
I believe that's
Replay
9
down.
false start penalties against Bethel in this game.
Frank
Very
says yes.
uncharacteristic against a Bethel team this year. Can't do a whole lot when your offense is moving all the time. And you're going in the wrong direction, 5 yards here and 5 yards there. Total of 90 yards and penalties. Well, you know, they don't, 90 yards,
That's a touchdown.
It's a lot of yards, but it's still not as many as you see when you've got that many penalties because they've all been 5-yard penalties.
Look how good the coverage is out there by the Warriors, and we might have another interception. Right?
Ball was incomplete. Good defense. There was player down, and now there's a flag on the play. Looks like we're going to have a roughing the passer.
Frank Brown could not find anybody open.
We'll have to take a look at that again and see if that was actually a roughing the passer, but the official threw the flag. That'll give him an additional 15 yards.
Well, there was somebody coming in from that right side over there, but
roughing the passer on the defense.
I didn't see what happened.
15 yards, automatic first down.
Number 58.
Yeah, I think he was letting the ball go as he was hit.
Yeah, that's pretty close there. I tell you, that's
first and 10
there.
at the 34-yard line. It's a minute and 40 to go. The last 2 minutes of this game's taken about 10 minutes to play here. Brown again drops back. There's a little short pass off in the flat. Makes a couple of nifty moves. That's 10 yards, 12 yards, 13-yard gain. That'll stop the clock long enough to get the chains moved.
And they needed that first down. That was a good play for that one.
First and 10 that took 9 seconds off the clock, and it stops.
They should have been doing this throughout the game, starting in the first quarter, especially when they were going against the wind.
That was Jahad Hudson on the reception.
He just won't go down. Look at that. Good job.
Ball was intended for Rashawn Proctor, incomplete pass. Second down and 10. Minute 21 to go. Still down by 13. I tell you, they score right here and get an onside kick. It's anybody's game. You know what I mean? Now back to pass again. Rush of 3.
Got one across the middle.
A lot of time to rush. Now
he's going to have to run it.
And now he'll run. Get enough for the first down. Pushed out of bounds inside the 10. Down at the 8-yard line. So that'll stop the clock. And the Bruins will have a first and goal.
I understand why he pushed him out of bounds, but that's something that you don't want to do. You want to keep him in.
Hollis coming out of the game now. Looks like he needs a break. There are no timeouts left. Minute and 11 to go. First and goal at the 8-yard line for Bethel. Back to pass. Passes over the middle and it's caught for a touchdown. Looks like Willie Davis on the catch for the Bruins, and might get interesting here, guys. A minute and 6 to go, and you can look for the onside kick coming. Kick is up, and it is good. So they trail, the Bethel Bruins now trail 20-14 with a minute and 6 seconds to go. The game is not over with, guys. Here's a replay of the touchdown. Good job holding on to the ball there too, as he bobbled it when he actually caught it. Like he caught that ball with one hand. Well, are you changing it? Nope, you're gonna leave it the way it was?
Yep.
Okay. Scoring drive there.
At an 8-yard touchdown pass to Davis. Drive was 44 yards, 59 seconds.
Now the key play of the game right here.
And you know what's going to go on right here.
That word came up again.
Which one?
Key.
Key.
We were talking about this being a key game, and this is actually a key play right here.
Here it comes,
This is
folks.
the play of the game right here.
Keep your eyes on the ball.
They were offside, but they didn't call it. The ball is up in the air. It's anybody's ball.
Yeah, Kecoughtan does have. They got two guys right
did
on it.
recover it. There are no timeouts left. It's under a minute and 4 seconds left. So Kecoughtan, all they have to do is down the ball. So Kecoughtan's going to come away with the victory here in a hard-fought, especially second half game. They'll win this one 20-14, bar a major mistake by the Warrior offense. Here we go, and we got to give our players of the game here. Why don't you go ahead and let them know who they are?
Well, it was tough. Let me give you the easy one first. The easy one was Bethel. Rashawn Proctor, 139 yards, 1 touchdown, and some beautiful catches. For Kecoughtan, it was really tough because if we could, we'd give it to Rick, Sargent, Hollis, and Claiborne, the defensive line. Those guys did a fabulous job. Ricks and Hollis are just, especially Hollis, were tearing it up out there tonight. But we decided to take a combination of defense and offense, and young Mr. Adrian Pope with 23 carries, 87 yards. He had 2 interceptions. He ran back a punt for a touchdown. He ran for another touchdown. He intercepted the pass here toward the end of the game. He's knocked away 2 passes, one that was in the end zone in the first half. He's just been all over the place. So Adrian Pope for Kecoughtan is going to get 1 player of the game, and Rashawn Proctor for the Bethel Bruins. And yeah, I wish we could
couldn't
give
have,
it another way.
I mean, as far as picking Kecoughtan's player of the game, man, it was a toss-up because
it could have been any of them.
There was 4 or 5 players out there that it could have been any of them. No timeouts left, of course. The clock will run out, and I believe this is an upset, folks. I believe the Kecoughtan Warriors have upset the Bethel Bruins by a score of 20-14, as it is now a final here at Darling Stadium.
And Mike, in the second half, Frank Brown 3 for 13, 4 interceptions, 101 yards, and 1 TD. So kind of a sweet and sour mix there for him. He got 100 yards in the second half, but he only completed 3 passes, and then he threw 4 to the Warriors.
That gave him over 300 yards passing for the night. Then
it appears it came close to it. Yes.
Well, he had 230 yards in passing in the first half. If he had 100 yards passing in the second half, it's pretty good.
Pretty good.
But unfortunately, 300 yards don't do you much good when you throw 4 interceptions, all in the second half.
And he only had 5 for the whole year coming into this game.
Yeah.
But again, like Mike said, give the Kecoughtan Warriors defense their credit. Those guys, Rick, Sargent, Hollis, Claiborne, the backers, Lynch, Palmer, Staten, Hill, and the secondary, which wrapped up the receivers and gave Frank Brown a hard way to find a target, were Pope, Baxter, and Wright, who just played shutdown out there. And, Mike, when the defense, like we said at the beginning, can keep the Bethel offense off the field, and when the running game for Kecoughtan can play like it did in the first half, and that's where Kecoughtan won this game.
Yep, no doubt about it.
Then you're going to have a good chance to win, and they did.
Well, again, the final score here at Darling Stadium on homecoming night for the Kecoughtan Warriors. They take this one 20-14, and they will improve to 4-3 overall. They were even up at 3-3 on the district. The Bethel Bruins will drop to 5-2, 4-2 in the district, and that tightens the district race up dramatically. That brings them into a tie for second now with the Crabbers, as they won last night pretty big over the Warwick Raiders. Well, the final score again, 20-14. I want to thank the whole crew here at LSC, and Frank Edgar again up here with Bob Hintz down on the field, Brent Musgrove, Paul Rowe up here, and myself, Mike Hauser. Thank you for joining us. Stay tuned, as we will have another live contest next week. And again, and we have 3 weeks left in the regular season before we go into the start of the playoffs. So again, the final score is the Kecoughtan Warriors 20 and the Bethel Bruins 14.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching LSC, your local sports channel on Cox Channel 48 and Verizon Fios Channel 23. From up in the booth, from Mike and I both, have a good evening, and we'll see you next week.
Today's game was sponsored by the Grey Goose Restaurant, located on West Queens Way in Hampton. Enjoy the wide selection of breakfast and lunch dishes, sure to please your appetite. Follow the Grey Goose Restaurant on Facebook, the restaurant that's also a bakery. Coliseum Central. Coliseum Central is located right in the heart of Hampton Roads, between Armistead Avenue and Interstate 64. You can take care of all your shopping, dining, entertainment, medical, and business needs right here. Who will represent you? Hampton athletes use Made Men Management because it's the best sports agency in the best area for sports. Rico's Pizza, located at 55 West Mercury Boulevard in the Langley Square Shopping Center. Rico's Pizza is sure to hit the spot after the game. Call 723-6850 today to place your order. Tidewater Team Sports, located at 11839B Cannon Boulevard in the Oyster Point section of Newport News. Tidewater Team Sports is your one-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidery, uniforms, and apparel. Call 594-0411 and talk to David Chubb or Terry McNamara. Today's game was sponsored in part by attorneys at Kaufman and Knowles, with offices in Hampton on Cunningham Drive across from Peninsula Town Center, and in Newport News at City Center. Kaufman and Knowles. We can and we will. Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, located at 2552 North Armistead Avenue. The funeral director is Vernon Kruger. Beach Hardware, located at 1951 East Pembroke Avenue in the Buckrow Shopping Center. Beach Hardware is your friendly local hardware store with everything you need to maintain your home inside and out. Eric Thompson Realtor. Contact Eric to buy or sell a home or property. Give Eric a call at 685-3127 or email him at eric@findhrhomes.com.